Okie doke, we're live. So sorry for the slight delay. Had a bunch of stuff to take care of. Logistical things around the house. My apologies. We're 2 minutes late. It balances out the other times in which I'm 1 minute late. Brewed some coffee real quick. Let me know you can hear me well as always. Today we're just gonna have a chill live stream. Nothing planned in particular. I do have a couple of things here next to me that I can show you so that we don't have dead air. But for the most part, what I want to do is answer your questions and talk about whatever you want to talk about. I have a bunch of cool ideas, like stuff that no one does really in the painting realm and in the watercolor realm. For example, I can review other people's painting processes, and that will be a fun thing to do, just to show, to explain things that they don't explain maybe. Now I see the connection is iffy, so let me know that everything works well, loud and clear. Thank you so much, Henny. I hope you saw my email. I emailed you like an hour ago. I'm pretty sure you saw it. Do ask me if I give critique. Not officially. Let me turn on the light here. Not officially, but I do kind of informally do that. If I have the time, I'll check out the emails I get, and if I have time, I'll look at your works and give you some critique. I think I really improved at it. And by the way, I'm gonna write down an email address, so if you just want me to, we can do something fun like a live critique. So if you want me to critique your work, Liron at lironyan.com. Oopsie, lironyan.com. Simply email me at this address now, and I can log in and maybe give you some live critique. I'll obviously show your painting here, so if that's something you're willing to do, I'm nice. So, but just letting you know, you can do that. That's an option. We can do that today. Now, if there's too much, of course, I can't go over everything, but we'll try and do something. So thank you so much. Let's see who's in the house, and I'm gonna read all of your messages. Andres Dennis says happy birthday. So here's the thing. I missed. Okay, birthday to Marjorie Johnson. That's really cool. So I don't see the message that says you have a birthday, Marjorie. But I do see the first message by Andres Dennis says happy birthday, so happy birthday. John says, hi Liron, hope you're well, my friend, and a very happy birthday to Marjorie Johnson. A live session with Liron today. It's a great birthday present. Thank you for being here. Richard Bennett, hello everyone. Deb, Karen, Marin, happy birthday. Liron, not my birthday, but thank you so much. Soon though, in about a month. Love your videos. Karen in Lewis, UK. Thank you so much, Karen. Ambi says happy birthday. Kate Court, good morning, sunshine. Hope your day is awesome. Excited for today's live stream. Richard Bennett, happy birthday. Not my birthday again, but thank you so much. Donna Bullman, thank you for being here. El Regev, Lydia, if I recall. Sorry for exposing your name if you didn't want me to. Sorry about that. Says Mazal Tov Yom Holedet Sameach, which is happy birthday in Hebrew. Dave, my friend, get some color in your life. Dave Alo, be sure to check out Dave's channel. It's a really nice channel. So yeah, just you can search it and you'll find it very easily. Hoping you have a wonderful day, and thank you for sharing something with us. Henny Shay, hello everyone. Hey everyone from sunny UK. Sunny, nice. We had the sunniest day recently yesterday, and today is a little more gloomy, and we'll probably have some rain soon too. Jeff Francisco, happy birthday, let's celebrate. It's my birthday, I don't think it's the run. Christine Bourgeois, yay, good morning. Jevijev, hello. Hi, good afternoon. Loud and clear, thank you, Henny. Daiji Shinomori, my friend, finally made it on time. Welcome aboard. No worries about the typo, I see that, that's okay. I get typos all the time. Christine Bourgeois, happy birthday. Marjorie, and Marjorie says, good morning from New York State. Everyone wishes happy birthday. Hi Pablo, hi from Argentina. Argentina is beautiful. It's been like ages since I visited, almost a decade. Learn art with me for someone who wants to learn how to draw and paint in various mediums. What is a good way to learn? I.e., how to come up with a decent curriculum for yourself. Interesting. I'm going to address that. I'm going to jump into some questions. Don't worry. I'll see all of your messages because it's going to be focused mainly on the chat today. And just for everyone who's joining now, thank you so much for being here. If you can kindly drop a like on the video. I see we have 15 likes and 40 viewers, so thank you so much for that. If we can increase the ratio between viewers and likes, that'll be great. Helps more people find the live stream. But yeah, what we're doing today is mainly about you, whatever you want to do. I'll show you some recent works. It's going to be fun, answer your questions, and so on. So let's get started with that question I just read. Learn art with me. For someone who wants to learn how to draw and paint in various mediums, what's a good way to learn, i.e. how to come up with a decent curriculum? So I will say, if you want to learn in various mediums, focus on the fundamentals. Go over first the things that are relevant to every medium. I think drawing skills are really important, and it will serve you well no matter what you do. What you want to learn is basically you want to get to a point where you feel comfortable with conveying three-dimensional objects very easily. So it'll be like this cylindrical bottle shape. If you can draw that from any angle, from imagination, without all the details and so on, just a cylindrical shape, that's a great place to be in. Before that, you have to work on your ability to draw lines, drawing straight lines, drawing curved lines. Work on those things. In terms of broadening the fundamentals, we have values, so learning how to recreate the value you see. Colors are kind of for later, in my opinion, if that's the approach you want. You can jump ahead and start working on colors as well. Composition is a big one. Learn how to draw things in a way that's interesting and beautiful and aesthetic. There's a lot that goes on into that, and it's a lot of practice and a lot of just experimentation. Doing studies of other artists is always a good idea. You get a second-hand experience of what they went through when they created their pieces of art, so that's always good. Focus on the fundamentals, the very basics. If you even Google or YouTube, search YouTube for the, drawing fundamentals or painting fundamentals or even art fundamentals like shape, value, color, harmony, focal point, composition, all of those good stuff, you will find a lot of results. If you want a good book for composition, I would definitely recommend Landscapes and Seascapes by Jack Ham. I think it's called Drawing Landscapes and Seascapes. I have it here. So that's a good one. And yeah, just get your feet wet. Learn those basics. They apply to every medium you'll do. So that's the main thing to focus on. By the way, thank you so much. I see 30 likes. I really appreciate it. It worked. And I see we have 53 concurrent viewers. So thank you so much. Let's move on with the chat. Learn art with me. I hope that helps. Dave says live critique will be fun, so feel free to send me an email. I'll check it out definitely. Akash Chakraborty, hi. And for anyone new who joined, I just said that we can do a live critique. If you have a painting you want me to review and talk about, simply send me an email to liron@lironyan.com. I posted it above. You can see it with the yellow label, and I'll be happy to, let me turn off my phone, and I'll be happy to give you a live critique, if you don't mind me showing your painting and all of that. So thank you for that. Marjorie Johnson, this is really nice present for me, a vlog from Liron. So Marjorie, if you're going to ask questions, I'm going to go straight to your questions. I'm going to give you priority because of your birthday. So be sure to do that. May Ossie says it's my birthday Saturday, so wish May a happy birthday. May's a little sick, so we're crossing fingers she'll feel well soon. Mainly a lot of rest, I think. Zaid Thakur, hey Liron, how are you? I'm great, Zaid, how are you? Cubs win, you're here. Good day from Texas, thank you for your streams. Richard Bennett, it is now your birthday. Yeah. Dave says, thank you Liron, did you pop your email in the chat? It's not showing here, I'm gonna pop it in again. liron@lironyan.com. So that's the email address. You can also get it from the channel if you have the extra energy to either open a new tab or go onto YouTube app, go to my channel and hit that About tab, and there you'll have my work email. You can find it there. But hopefully you'll see it. Chris Bushnell is here in the house. Hey Liron, hey Chris. I believe you saw my comment on your post. Instagram, really good painting. I love where you're taking watercolor. Lida Aliaj, happy birthday. Maggie Freeman, thank you for that. Maggie Freeman, hailstorms here in Brittany, France. Wow, that's a beautiful area, I believe. May says, like, thank you so much. Dave says, it's okay, I see it now. Rinske says, hi. Hi, welcome aboard. Arthur Koopmans, hi, it's stormy here too. Had to dodge some falling trees on my way to the computer. Wow, that's dangerous. The worst I've seen was when I used to worked for a company, I'd go every day. I'd drive every day to a city called Ra'anana, which is basically means fresh in English when you think about it. That's funny. So there was like a power line that fell on the road. It was crazy dangerous. It was on the other side, so I actually got to work on time, but super dangerous. So yeah, watch out. Be careful out there. Learn art with me gives me a thumbs up, so I believe the answer was helpful. David Green, good morning or afternoon to you. Thank you, David. It is now for 4:13 p.m. here in Tel Aviv. Hope you're doing well, David. It's been a while. Marjorie Johnson, what are we painting today? I have my Daniel Smith and I'm Grams with me with my course. See just how much cores push other watercolor. Oh, I have to check out core. We're not painting anything, sadly, but if you want me to demo something real quick, I can do that. It is your birthday, after all. Laura Merrifield, good evening, morning, everyone. And Laura, I know there's an email I missed. I will hopefully get to it soon. Thank you for sending me that. Chris says, I bet you cannot wait to get outside and paint again. Wow. Yeah, I can actually do that. I'm just, I guess, caught up in my routine that I haven't made the time to just go out. It's very gloomy today, very overcast, but it is nice sometimes to paint an overcast scene. So I'd actually like to do that. It's just prioritization, and it's fallen off in the priorities for me, and I should do it again. And I should, as a promise, do a live stream outside. That'll be really cool. Of painting. So yeah, Jeff Francisco, hi Marjorie, happy birthday. Carol Placido, sending love and support all the way from the Philippines. Suruchi Bide, or Bide, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Happy birthday to learn why you're working today, take a break. Actually, talking about breaks, because I was sick, I had to take a break about, 2 weeks ago. And it really put things in perspective for me, so I will be trying to get a better balance. What happens is I do tend to burn myself out and then realize it later when it's too late and then I'm already tired. So I'll try kind of catching it in advance and stopping on time. I actually took a day off. It was really nice. Took a few days off here and there the last couple of weeks. Took my time and worked really slowly too. Just trying to make sure I work consistently. I'm being consistently productive without going overboard so that I have more energy for tomorrow and so on. So yeah. And by the way, I have some fun stuff. Actually, I have some really fun stuff to show you. Hopefully I can show you. I also have like a page of my manga that I've started planning, so hopefully I'll show you that. Kunal Itvekar Arts. Hello, Liron. Hey, how are you doing? Of course I am. Hi, how are you, my friend? Chris De Bruyne, hello from Bellingham, Washington. Mimi Harp, good morning. Happy birthday. David Figs. Hi, Liron. How are you doing today? I'm doing really well, David. How are you? I hope you're doing well as well. I'm always happy to hear from you. Happinin07 says Mazal Tov, which is happy birthday in Hebrew, or congratulations would be a better translation. Zaid Thakur, send my work, please, live for ticket. You got it. I'll check it out now. MB, love to all from Germany. Dave says I've sent some to your email. Thanks. Okay, we'll do that. Kunal Itvekar Art says, bro, sometimes my watercolor fail and frustrating, I feel, but what you do improves my... But what you do to improve your skills? It's just working on the fundamentals. Practicing the basic techniques in a very focused way, practicing drawing, doing studies of other people's works that you like, all of the things together. I can expand upon it later. Let me, for now, log into my email and check out what you sent me. We'll do it live first time. So there's going to be a bit of kind of fluff as I open up the your paintings. So sorry about that. Logged in, just 1 second. Let's see what you sent me. Okay, we have a bunch of stuff. So I'll get to yours, Zaid. I see a lot of other ones too. Don't worry, I'll get to a lot of these. I may regret saying I'll do it because it's critique isn't easy. Giving critique isn't easy. And by the way, I forgot to mention, if you can, also send me the reference photo you're working from. That'll be really good. So I can actually compare it to something. Forgot to mention, but it is really important. If you haven't, it's not a big deal. We'll get through it. But just saying. Okie doke. We got that. Okay. so Zaid, let's open it up. I opened a special folder. Is it this one? Let's see here, sorry about the dead air. Downloads. And where did I put it? Edit. What I feared, dead air, but we'll find it, we'll get it. Critique. I opened the folder and I called it critiques. Where is it? That's strange. Okay, well, show and finder. Got it. Where is that folder? Sorry about that. Okay, I see. That's not good. That's not where it's supposed to be. So, I'm gonna copy it and then I'm gonna paste it here. Here we go. We are ready. Okay. We got it. So I'm gonna open it up, bring it over here. Next time what I'll do is actually, you know, ask that in advance and then we'll have an easier time. Okay, so Zaid, this is yours. It's going to take a moment just for the first time, but then it's going to be faster once I have the folder. Okay, so first off, I really like that. I really like this one. So Zaid, just making sure, it is yours, I'm pretty sure. I checked the email. But just let me know. In any case, just let me know, yes, this is mine. I'm going to crop it to the side so that we can look at more of the painting itself. Really nice. Really, really nice. And yes, it will be, of course, helpful to see the reference photos. So I'm going to move here and make this larger. So yeah, I really like it. One thing that really stands out to me that I like about this one is the colors. I think you did a really good job, not just in the color selection, but how they work together and the harmony you created. Because what happens here, there is this gradual move from more saturated to slightly more muted. They all work together. I don't know if you used a limited palette for this or you're using multiple colors. It looks limited in a good way. And I really, really like it. Maybe it's unfinished, so just saying that the bottom part especially, I would either plan it differently so that there isn't so much, unless that's the message you wanna convey. I'm gonna give a disclaimer with every critique that you're gonna provide. And by the way, let's see that. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. So let me know that you can see the painting fine and everything, and the messages may be delayed, so my apologies about that. But in any case, Zaid, let me just give that disclaimer. It's really important. A lot of it is subjective. A lot of it is personal choice. So I'm being very careful not to force my own opinions, my own taste on you, because you paint however you want to paint. The way I see it, I'm just going to provide my own feedback of what I would have maybe added or done differently and so on. So, back to the point, I love it. I love the color harmony. One thing I would improve is having this big of an area that's like a third of the painting with not much in it. Could be an artistic statement. I would make sure to add something there. It could be just texture to the ground. It could be a lot of things. What I would probably do is lower this line of where the foliage starts. I'd lower it here, leave less underneath, and show more of the mountain. Okay, so that's one thing you could do. I love that your trees above the buildings aren't overworked in a way. You could say they're a bit overworked, but not too much, and they still feel like one shape. It wasn't that wet of a wash, it seems, but it still feels like one shape. If you contrast it with the trees below here, you do see a lot of individual brush marks, which again is something you may want to avoid, or you may not want to avoid. But I do think it looks overall really nice. The structures look solid. There are some minor things to fix in terms of the perspective. I do see that some lines are a bit out of place. This could be an issue not with the drawing, but rather, how should I move it so that it's easier? Like this. This may be an issue not with the drawing, but rather with the painting. What happened to me very often is when I got started, I would do an accurate drawing, but then with the brush, I would do lines that don't follow it as closely, and then that would create some confusion maybe in the shapes. makes some lines that need to be vertical a little more skewed, so that could be it. I love the color you chose for the shadows though. It's really nice. One more thing I will say, like a final comment, the mountain looks really good. I love how you use these two colors. I think the value is on point, meaning they're sent back enough to the distance, but they pop against the sky, which is something I really love. I love how, again, it's dark enough to be able to discern from the sky, which is a mistake some beginners make. They make it too light, and it's kind of, there isn't a mountain basically because it's too light. But then again, it's also not dark enough so that it still looks like it's actually behind the foliage, behind the houses, behind all of that. So really good work. One more thing, one last critique, I would say, if you look at the windows, I'm not sure if you were in a hurry or something else. If you take just a little bit more time to get these accurately, like have them vertical or at the right angle and consistently, it can come a long way and make a very positive impact on the painting. So just be a little more careful with those final stages. Sometimes we have this illusion possibly that if we want to work freely, we need to work fast or work very loosely with the brush. That's not necessarily the case, and I do like the idea of sometimes slowing down, focusing and putting some details very carefully, especially those final details that are going to be like the small decorations on top of the composition and everything else, because people will look at them. So get them a little more accurately and it will really make a big impact. I hope that makes sense. There's tons of more critique I can give on this particular one, especially if you send me the reference photo. Feel free to do that, and I'll do that after the live stream. But a really good job. That's a great painting to start with. I love it. I love the colors too. They work very, very well. Very often you'll see a confusion in the greens. Some greens just look out of place, and like here it's really well done. The greens are very muted, so it's kind of a gray, green, blue. But then you also have these touches of orange right here, and the orange and yellow on the other side. Really nice work. So way to go. So first critique, I think that went pretty well. Let me know if you enjoyed this format, and I'll do more. Okay, I'm gonna look at some messages in the chat, and then we'll continue just to make sure I'm all caught up. I've seen the other emails. We'll get through these. We'll try and get through these. Rasha Najar, happy birthday. Laura Merrifield, good news and bad news this week. I'm finally going back to work, but I'm seriously going to cut into my painting time. Yeah, it's going to be a little challenging, I think, as people readjust to the new routine, which is basically the old routine of, you know, going to work and having less time maybe to create. I think a lot of like acceptance to accept that this is actually a good thing in a way, because first off, if you can go back to work, you can make money again and like do all of those important things, and also just going back to routine, you know, going back, the world becoming more normal, I guess, which I really miss. They have started really opening up things in the last week or so, and you feel it, and I love it. There's people outside, restaurants are open, it's really fun. Len Kaika, hi Liron, you just mentioned painting outside. How do you go about selecting your location? Do you plan it in advance, or do you just go for a walk, drive, and stop when you see something interesting? The second one, the latter. I walk around the city until I find something interesting. I have this chronic issue of not feeling like anything is good enough for a painting. And it's just an illusion. I'm really perfectionist in this one small thing of choosing a scene to paint outside. When it's from pictures, I'm good. I'll choose one real fast. I don't have that problem. Outside, I really delay it and postpone it. It's something I need to work on. I have started working on, of just being okay with whatever is in front of me. And instead of thinking that the scene will make the painting, I'm trying to learn that I will make the scene work. Okay? But yeah, I walk around. I don't usually choose the location. I do take a lot of pictures when I'm outside, and then I have a lot of things to work off of later on. But yeah. Elsa Grace, stop thinking about production and just call it all practice. Yeah, for sure it can be practice. Rotem New, אתה Israeli? Yes, I'm Israeli. Ana Yancy, felicidades. Thank you so much. And Marjorie thanks you too. Newbie Game Bunny, hello, welcome aboard. John. Rewatched your painting masters on Manel Plana. It was great to see you paint your own version of his work. Will you be doing any more of this type of demos in the future? Yes, I will. I hope to do more of that. That was a really fun idea I had. The reason I haven't done it as much is just because I moved on to other things, but I really enjoyed it. So you can expect more of that. Barbo, I finally made it. Welcome aboard. Name I can't read in Russian, so sorry about that. Hi, Liron, just have a question. How do I avoid muddy colors? A lot of it happens just because of over mixing on the palette. So what I would do, the first step I would take is to put the colors purely on paper and let them mix there. Okay? You take a bit of, if you have a green foliage, take a bit of blue, put it on some part of the foliage. Take a bit of yellow, put it on the other part. I guarantee you, it won't be as muddy. One more thing you can do is just to minimize your palette to 3 colors. That will help, because if you have fewer colors, you will inadvertently mix less. It just happens like that. I don't know why. That's what I would do. It's easier to avoid that. And by the way, nothing wrong with muddy colors as long as it's plain. So if most of your scene is muddy, aka brown and gray, and then you have a point of strong yellow or strong red, it can work as a compositional tool. So just have that in mind. Mud isn't a problem. It's just basically what you're asking is how to avoid using too many browns or grays. Use less mixing and less colors. I hope that helps. Whale, hi. Wanted to know which are the 2 bonuses you mentioned in your frustration-free watercolor course page. One of them is my favorite colors, and another is a demo I did in Hebrew. Now, this demo was done more casually to a Facebook group here in Israel. So you basically get a demo that's very carefree and fun. I think a lot more of my personality comes out in it, and it's in Hebrew. So it's fun to listen to me speak in Hebrew and look at the subtitles. So that's the second bonus, and I think it's fun. I hope that will convince you to check it out, and everyone else, if you're struggling with just painting freely, be sure to check out the frustration-free watercolor course. Would really appreciate it. It's how I make my living, and thank you so much for enabling me to do that. Zaid Thakur, oh my god, you just gave me enough info. One more critique, please just send it. Okay, we'll see. I'll go through other people, obviously, and then if we have time, I'll do that. But prepare yourself to not have another one critiques, because there's a lot in the inbox. Artist role, Vishwakarma, hello. Marina Boroel, any suggestions for trees? In what way? What do you mean suggestions? Like what to paint? I really want to paint a cherry tree, like a Japanese one. Dave says, great work, Zaid. Okay, the chat jumps on me. It's something that if you do live streams, you know what I'm talking about. It just, boom, I get like 10 of your messages simultaneously, so sorry about that. Daiji Shinomori, gonna try to send you my first semi-serious attempt in a few minutes. Thank you, I will check it out. Voita, the orange on the right is my gem, great one, yes indeed. Elsa, I'm wondering if that is water in the foreground on Zaid's painting. Yeah, I'm not sure, let us know, Zaid. Let us know for context. But yeah, I did my best, and of course I may misunderstand some of your intentions. I need to see the reference. Hi Liron, just have a question. How do you avoid muddy colors? Answer that. I hope that was helpful. Okay, we'll do one more of Newbie Game Bunny, and then we'll look at some more paintings. I have a question about what I should do for my drawing project. My theme is about air pollution, specifically acid rain and how it affects ocean life. Do you or anyone in the chat have any ideas? So I'm sure people will give you ideas. My take on it is to understand what you should do, take a few steps back and think with yourself, what's the big idea of what I want to convey? What is the message I want to send? And this message can be a lot of things. It can be a message about the beauty in nature. It can be a shocking message about the damage that we do to the environment. Like there's this ad of, I saw it, I don't remember where, of like birds with actual bottles. You can see them stuck, and it's disgusting, and it's shocking, and it should be, because it really encourages people not to throw stuff, in the water and in natural reserves and all of that. So think about what you want to convey. Me personally, usually I don't go the shock route just because of my personality, so I'll go with like a wholesome kind of positive message, but you may be different about it, so maybe you really want to show the damage and draw it and paint it and so on. You say drawing project, so it'll be that. So you really want to think about what your message is and then go for that impact. I hope it makes sense. It's the best advice I can give you. Zaid says, love this format, please do more of these kinds of streams. Will do. I'm happy to hear. Ninzing CMZ sort of says text, and it's the second time you say text. So if you're a bot, welcome aboard, and if not, yeah. So Cubswin, I'm going to get to your question in just a moment. Let's see what else we have here. Inbox. Why don't I see the previous ones? That's strange. It marks it as red for some reason. Okay, but we'll get to it. So sorry for some more dead air as I check through and see your critique requests. So I'm going to go for the first one by Martha. So Martha, let's open it up. And let's see if you sent me the reference too, because I have seen some people sending me references. Martha, here we go. My pick, I sent it from Cubswin. Okay, so I got to it. That's funny. We're given it. Okay, yes. And let's see if you sent me the reference photo. Here we go. My reference. Cool. Got it. Okay. So we'll open these both up. That's a tough subject matter. So let's see. Did it make sense? Okay, yeah. Open image in new tab. Save. That's really interesting. That's an interesting painting. So we'll put it in the critique folder, and that's gonna be Martha painting. And then I'll save the Martha reference, and we'll get to your work. Martha reference. Okay, and I'm gonna bring both of these up. Again, sorry for the slight delay. I have to bring your pics here. Okay, so first one is gonna be the painting. Ooh, I have to rotate it. Darn. Okay, we'll do that. I hate when that happens. Not your fault, but sometimes my computer decides to rotate the pictures without my permission. That's sometimes what Macs do and iPhones do. Okay, so here is the painting. And let me bring in the reference. And kudos to anyone who's sending me their paintings. I really appreciate it, and I hope to get to as many as I can. Sorry that I want to give proper feedback, so it may take time, everyone. And I have to rotate this one too. Okay, no worries. We'll just take a second. Here we go. Okay, we got it. So I'm going to be in the middle as we'll look at these two. Okay, so I'm going to say a couple of things right out the gate. Congratulations on the courage to change stuff and to add things. Like, you really changed a lot of things here, and you added people. I don't know if it's from your imagination or a different reference photo, but that always takes courage. I love the strong colors on the person's shirt. Is that a mask I see here? Like right here, sorry, it's reversed for me. Is that a mask on the person? That's really cool and contemporary. If I look at the colors, same thing as I said earlier, the fact that you combine, let me know you can see everything well. The fact that you combined saturated with muted, I think is great. It works really well, and your design is really good. The one thing you have to work on, and that'll be like the biggest critique, is just the drawing, the accuracy of the drawing and the perspective. Small fixes could go a huge way. So let me explain basically what happens here. When you look at the reference photo right here, because of the shape of those perspective lines, the floor is somewhere down here, okay? If I just continue these lines, I'm gonna try, it's reversed for me, but you see there's this, wait a second, diagonal line that goes like this. I can't, there's no way I can do it. Diagonal line, okay, yeah, here we go. This diagonal line of the top of the building, and then we have a line that's slightly less diagonal, and then we have a line that's really flat. So the ground is gonna be somewhere around here, okay? And you place the people here, right around this point, okay? Maybe I should do this in the future with a screen capture and I can actually draw it. But the point is, everything should be lower, okay? So sometimes you may need to extend your photo's crop in order to really add elements to it. Now, would it make sense? Or you could play around with the lines to fix the perspective. So what I will do, and I can actually, you know what, let me show you. Let me actually show you on the table here. Maybe, you know what, I can do a nice trick here. Display capture. No, not display capture. where is it? I want to show you video capture device. Okay, and then we'll use my camera here because I want to show you. Here we go. Okay, I want to show you this in small. I know it's a bit ridiculous, and this is my coffee. I'm gonna set that aside. I want to show you this here. And if that's too basic for some people, my apologies, but I do think it's important to show. So the scene that you have goes kind of like this for the buildings, okay? Then we have another building in the background like that. Now notice how the power lines or the street lights, or this is power lines, adhere to that same perspective. So these lines are parallel. In your painting they're not, so the power lines go like this and the building goes like that. So another thing to pay attention to. But in any case, this is the building. Now what will happen is you actually need to, let me make this larger here. I'm sorry that's a little clumsy because I haven't prepared these things in advance. My apologies. What you need to do is to extend the scene like that all the way down. And this is where you'd place your figures, the car, and everything. See? I hope that makes sense. Study perspective, especially, that would be the main thing. Let me get rid of this. Yep. One thing I would work on is the drawing aspect of it. Now, if you just want to get to the painting stage, which is understandable, feel free to just trace or do whatever it takes to get the drawing down and then move on to the painting. But yeah, I love the dry brush marks on the wall. That's really good. Another thing you can try is balance that with, in the building at the back, what I would do. So here's what I would do. Building at the front, I'd leave the same. And then the building at the back, instead of painting the windows darker, I'd actually keep them lighter, like in the reference photo right here, okay? And then you'll have a nice contrast of the wall that's closest to us has this beautiful dry brush effect of the bricks, and the building behind it is a little smoother and cleaner. And that way they'll contrast a little more. It will organize your scene, it will make it more easily understandable just by first glance. And one more important thing, look at the power lines. So you have them this way, whereas they should be that way, parallel to the walls of the buildings. So one more thing to pay attention to. I hope that makes sense. We're gonna have to go fast through some of the critiques because there's just a lot of things to get through. But the kudos on the color balance, that's really important. You got the saturated up front, the muted at the back, great. And keep practicing, basically keep practicing. I think drawing will benefit you the most. Because you really want to tackle that weakest link and it will improve everything, like tremendously. So go for that. Let me go back to the chat, see what you're saying, and then we'll continue. So Cubswin, I ended up addressing, critiquing your painting. Do you ever paint without drawing first? Do you ever use a ruler? I use a ruler sometimes. Usually I'll draw first, unless I'm doing a very specific experiment, okay? I hope that makes sense. Among Rakshan, if you can, I'll see your question, so don't write it 1,000 times, or I'll have to mute you. Let's put you in timeout for a second. I think that worked. You can see my materials in the descriptions. Let's see here. Okay, good. So I put you in timeout. Sorry about that. I just can't afford the chat being spammed. So I think you should be okay in a short while. But to answer your question, you can see the full list of my materials in the descriptions of most of my videos. Okay, so just letting you know. Sorry about that. I have to be brutal to manage the chat for now. So yeah, I do paint sometimes from kind of imagination and free flow. But for the most part, I mostly have a plan and I do a drawing first. Hanishay, nice mindset. I will make the scene. Yes, exactly. Narayan says hi, and then okay. Welcome aboard. I have a bunch of emojis from Nins, and thank you for the question from earlier. Happy I could help. Chris Obrero. Hi, Liron. No question, just saying you're awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Zaid says, yes, that's water. Good to know. I had a feeling because of those vertical lines, kind of reflections, water will usually mimic the sky a little more. So that's maybe one thing to watch out for if you do the water. And let me look at it again, just, let's see here. Oh, I see now. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, So in your case, Zaid, I would just add a few more sharp ripples and reflect the mountain. So instead of reflecting the buildings, I would actually reflect the mountain down there. So if it goes this way up, I'll do this way mirror down. And that will really help clarify its water. I see it now. And great foresight for the person who said that they think it's water. Great job. Took me a moment. I was so focused on giving the critique I haven't noticed. So yeah, but now we know. Well, thank you for the answer. I think I'll buy the frustration-free watercolor course. Happy birthday. Didn't know it just connected. Thank you so much. Well, it's Marjorie's birthday. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Nuferdan Yusuf. Hi, I'm Yusuf from Sri Lanka. Welcome aboard, Yusuf. You have a few users. I remember you had a different, either a different username or a different photo. Marjorie says, I have to use a clear plastic triangle to use for vertical and horizontal now. As a ruler, hence not as steady as in the past. Yeah, I get it. That's fine. Use whatever tools you need. Granny Jeannie reads her book, says, nice of you to do this. It's my pleasure. John says, thank you so much, Liron, for reposting my work on Instagram the other day. I really appreciate your encouragement and support. You're a great teacher and artist. Thank you. You did a really good job with this scene. I love it too. I like how you stayed kind of loyal to my colors, which is funny because originally I didn't like the colors I used. But they ended up working really nicely for me and for you too. Alicia M. Happy birthday. You're such a dear. Always looking forward to hear your thoughts. Daiji says, oh, love that. Cub says beard. Oh, okay. So it's beard. It's not a mask. That's really cool. Zaid says, nice work. Well, can anyone give me Liron's email, please? It is Liron at Lironian. Here's what I'll try and do. .com. Here's what I'll try and do. I'll try replying to most critique requests, even if I don't make it in the live stream, after the live stream. Okay, Elsa Grace says, Sakura, great painting, just wanted to imagine. Details could suggest water, exactly. May, thank you for writing my email again. Elsa, I'm just learning to edit real life in paintings, so literal, yeah. Yeah, I get that. The photographer took the photo at a weird... Yeah, exactly. Learn art with me. The photographer took the photo in a weird angle looking up. Yes, these are very challenging. So it makes sense that you'll have problems, Cubs, with the angle and the perspective. Sorry, it's just that. It's a complex one. Let's see here. Zaid says, Kansuna Corel, Excel watercolor album. Yeah, these are good. Very helpful comments, thank you. You got it, happy I could help. Look at the edges of the nearest building and the parallelism of the wooden poles. My bad, thought you asked my materials. I see. Do you recommend drawing every day, Barbara D asks? If you can, yes, of course. If you can, you will improve so much faster. It's just not possible for most people, myself included. But the more you can do it, the better. I find that 3 times a week for any skill is kind of a minimum baseline, even if you don't have much time. So draw and paint for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. It's better than nothing if you can do it 3 times a week. It's more important how you practice, more even than like the time or the amount of time. Okay. So let us go back to the email. Nama Carolina Nevo says, nice to finally catch you. Usually I see that you were live a few hours ago. I'm happy you're here with us. Let me go back and look at some more critique requests. So we did Cubs. Now we have Dave. Let's do... oh, sorry. There are a couple of other people before. Sorry about that. Let's see here. No, it's good. Don't say it's not good. Okay, so we have Marail here. Let's see if you also sent me the reference photo. And if not, it's not the end of the world. We'll get through it. That's really nice. It's really nice. Don't say it's no good. Okay, so I'm sorry if I can't connect your name to the username on YouTube. But I will do my best to give you a proper critique. So let's open it up. I don't have the reference, so I'll just kind of wing it. But here it is. And I will rotate it as always. It's beautiful work. And I love dogs, so doggo paintings are always fun. So, a very different style, and I love it. More illustrative. What can I say? I really like this one. Like, for this kind of a painting, it's going to be really hard for me to give critique that's very criticizing because I don't know your intention, and I think it works great for that style. So all of your colors and values are very light for the most part. Again, depending on the style you go for. If you want to get very rich shadows, very dark, stronger contrast, you will have to go darker. But first off, it could be white fur, and then it's fairly light. Let me go ahead and make sure that I didn't miss your reference photos. Okay, yeah, so I don't see that you sent it, so that's fine. We'll work from that. For a more illustrative style, I love it. So first off, the drawing is pretty accurate, I can tell. I love the usage of some mixed media. So you have some kind of an ink here or pen, it looks like, and watercolors, and I don't know if some pencil showing, but it looks really good. I love the expression. It's just so good. You captured it. I love how you didn't go too heavy on the smaller details of the fur. It's very, it's not, you don't spell it out. You show and indicate some places where it's clear that it's fluffy fur, but you don't go ahead and draw every strand of hair, which is really important. So it works overall. The composition is really nice. The dog is to the side, and then you see some background, which works really well for me. I always think it's more interesting. The colors are very good. This nice yellow with a blue in the background. Honestly, don't have much to say about it. I really like it. I love the highlight on the eye. I think it looks really good. Now, if you want to take it further and go into a more realistic mode, you'll have to mainly focus a bit more on the values, meaning getting some larger areas of shadow in. But I don't know if that's your intention, and I don't see the reference photo. I think it looks great, so I like it. I like it a lot. Don't know how you got the drawing done, if you traced or just from observation, but it looks pretty accurate. There's always going to be some things to fix if I see the reference for this, but I love it. I love it based on what I see. Really good job. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Let's see what you're saying in the chat. And let me know whose work it is, because again, it's hard for me to connect the usernames here with what I see on the email. So let's continue. Zaid says, thank you. Pence Palacio, welcome, my friend. Zaid Thakur, hey Liron, can I do a shameless plug on my Insta handle here? Yeah, sure. Write it down. Doggy painting really looks awesome. I agree. That's a lovely dog painting, says Daiji Shinomori too. Pence Palacio, I also sent some photos. Again, in your DMs. I hope it can reach your standards. Send me an email, Pence Palacio, to the one I wrote in the chat. We'll just make sure I see it, that just higher probability. Roman Panasco. Hey Liron, in the painting light and shadow video earlier, you mentioned an artist you found recently with realistic style. Could you tell the name of that artist? Thanks. Yes, I can. Let me find the channel and I write it down. Realistic watercolor details, signs. I don't remember the name, but I'll find it just based on a search. Yeah, here we go. It's Stephen Kozar. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat and feel free to check it out. Stephen, he's really good. So check out his channel. Very realistic, very detailed. Not everyone connects with that, but if you do, great. I like it. I can learn a lot from it. So yeah. Cute doggy, I love it. Everyone loves the painting. MB says that's mine. Thank you. I used a mix of watercolor and gouache. Oh, okay, cool. So gouache, watercolor, and maybe ink too. Among Rexon, sorry for asking the materials more times. Yeah, no worries. Just go over to pretty much any video I have here, and sorry for putting you in timeout, and you will be able to see it there. Just scroll down in the description box. I use Daniel Smith paints. I use Saunders Waterford paper. Pencils are just random. I love Escoda brushes. But yeah, what I should do is create a web page on kit.com, I believe it's called, where you can detail all of your materials. And that's a lot of photographers do it, so I should do it too. And then you'll have an easy resource to see everything. I believe it's also with affiliate links, and then you can actually buy it and I can make a small commission. I'll get to it. I'll write it down as a note because I've been postponing it for ages. Kit.com page. I'll do it. I'll make it happen. Okay. Elsa Grace, an artist, said sometimes our style is not the style that we most admire or perused. It's healthy to learn to appreciate our style over the years. Yeah, it's something that is always developing. It's something that is not as clear-cut, for sure. Let's see. We got Cubs, we got Morel, we got Cubs. Okay, Dave. Dave, it's your turn. Let me... oh, we have a bunch of work. Okay, that's nice. So I'm going to open up Dave's work. And again, Dave has a YouTube channel, so be sure to check it out. Get some color in your life. Dave Lowe. And let's see if you sent me the references too. And if not, no worries. Okay, I don't see them, but maybe they're in the original one. Okay. Save image. Let's see if I'll have to rotate this one too. Always it wants me to always rotate it. So here's the first one. You sent me 3. Let's see here. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. Honestly, I'm not sure. Am I looking at a painting or a photo? This is really good. Okay, I see. So these are all paintings. Really good job. I bet you it's really interesting that I talk about it rather than show you. Just 1 second and I'll show you. Let me refresh it. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start with the first one by Dave. Browse, 1 second. Okay. So, wow. So if I can't tell for a second if it's a photo or a painting, that's a good sign. So I love this. This is so good. The picture is a little blurry and I don't see the reference. So it will be limited, of course, but I really love it. The drawing is clearly on point because it looks real. And you can't get that impression without having a very solid drawing foundation. So way to go on that. Really good job. Really nice. A couple of things that pop out to me. You did a really good job creating a realistic look. At least to me, it looks like you were going for that photorealistic effect. So I will say, take it 1 step further and really put a little more effort in the windows, a little more focus, maybe not effort, focus and time. So when you see these windows on the white structure, the big white structure, a little more careful in rendering those shapes will again make a big difference. Because everything is in its place, the trees, the grass, everything looks on point, the values are on point. Just the windows, some of them are out of line a bit, so out of the perspective. So I would really take my time a little more. What you can do is, let me show you. I'll draw it real quick and then you don't even have to see me draw it. It's just a real fast kind of a thing here. Or, you know what, let me switch to this camera. So basically, the only kind of suggestion I have is to first put in the perspective lines that I know you can barely see, so let me go darker. First put in those lines, and then put in those lines, and then within those, you want to render the details of the windows. See what I mean? Even do this. I know I'm a little skewed here, but first draw the grid, and then fill it in with the individual black shapes or dark shapes. And that way you know it's super accurate. And you won't get windows that look kind of like, you see how they're a bit, let me go back to this camera. You see how they're just a bit crooked. So that will be my main tip for here. Other than that, you did a really good job. We have a Ruth cameo, as always. Come here, doggo. Yes, hello. Hello there. Hello. She won't stay here, you know that. She'll go in a second. Mwah. Say hi to everyone. Let me lower. Okay, so maybe Ruth will stay with us here. I don't know. Maybe she'll go to the living room. For now, she's here. So, Dave, that's the first thing I would say. And I went a little back, so let me know you can still hear me well. One more thing I will say. I know you went for, at least it seems like, again, highly realistic and detailed look. I will consider reducing just some of... Okay, here we go. Bye-bye. I will consider reducing just some of the details in the buildings behind that light one. Just around here. Okay? Around... Let me do a grid for you. Here. Okay? If you connect these 2 points together, you'll get there. So even though you're trying to render most of the details, just for balance's sake, maybe either make the contrasts in the background a little less contrasty. So either flatten it a bit. Make the lightest values a little darker and the darkest values a little lighter, and it will just put everything in a better context, I think. You don't have to. Just one note to have in mind. Now we're going to run through to the next one soon because you have 3. That's a lot, so I want to make sure I give enough time for everyone. One last note about the trees. The leaves do feel a little bit repetitive, so I would say maybe plan them out a little more. Maybe they're similar to the reference, but plan them out a little more carefully so that it's not all the same direction brush marks, but rather maybe a few large areas of foliage. Usually it's not going to be a bunch of individual leaves. It's going to be a few shapes of a few groups of leaves together. Okay, so just a small note there. Let's move on to the second one real quick. I'm gonna go over the next ones a little faster. They look really nice too. So we have this one of airplane. This, I don't have much to say. It looks really good. The overall composition works really well. You have a big shape and a small shape next to it. That's always good. The hints at maybe a desert below, that works really well. It's a very, very nice painting. I love it. One thing I will say here that you did perfectly is the balance between the foreground and the background. So you have that plane, obviously the foreground, and then the background, which is the ground. Look at these beautiful kind of smooth transitions right here from dark to the yellow. That's perfect. I love it. You did a really good job with this one. This is really, really nice. The balance that you struck here, bring it over to the more complex works. You will be able to do it. Other than that, not much to say. Let's move on to the last one. The last one I saw is a little messier, so I'll try doing my best. A little, maybe less clear on the message. I'm not sure though. So let's see. Okay, so here we have it. So to me, what this lacks a bit is within all of those buildings, clear large shapes. You have the very clear tree branches up top. You have the very clear foliage from behind. We need to see some more separation between the buildings that will clarify the impression. At the front, it looks like water. Let me know if I'm mistaken. But that would be the main tip I can give you here. I love the foliage, by the way. This is what you should have done with the first one in the foliage. You see how it doesn't feel like you painted every leaf individually, but there are groupings of leaves? That's what you want to do. And I know you may have flattened that middle section of the buildings to avoid going too dark due to the leaves up top. But I would advise you to bring a bit more darkness to it, just to make a better distinction between the shapes. The drawing and the perspective could be improved a bit too, but that's minor, and I saw that you do a good job on other pieces, so it may be something, a local kind of mistake or issue. So really good. I'm really enjoying these. So let's see what you're saying in the chat. And hopefully that helps, Dave. Love the doggo. How has your practice changed over time? Among Rakshan says. I would say it hasn't changed much. I'm practicing pretty much the same way. I go through periods where I'll do more studies, and then I'll go through periods where I focus more on myself, but overall, it hasn't changed much, if I'm being honest. Well asks, and Roman says, thanks. Well asks that you received my email. Alex, well, let me just confirm that I received it. So I actually don't see it. So send it over again. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, I don't see it. If you got an error, maybe it didn't work. Send it again, and I'll be happy to try and get to it. Dave loves the dog portrait. My Insta handle to anyone. Okay, Zayed, here's the shameless plug. Sketchies1, my Insta handle to anyone that can give more critique on my work. So be nice, check it out, and if you can give more critique, if you're experienced or if you're not experienced, that'll be great. Vojta says this one's freaking awesome, great job, I absolutely love it. Dave, people love your work. I thought it was a reference. Yes, I'm the same. Yeah, it's really good. People love these. So Dave, good job, and if you want to see more, go check out his channel. He has a YouTube channel, Dave, Get Some Color in Your Life by Dave Lowe. Check it out. Among Rakshan, what jobs have you done other than being an artist? So pretty much two. One was kind of customer support for a telecom company for 2 weeks. That's all I could do. 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. And the second one was customer support, like technical support, not customer support, in a live person. It's a pretty big high-tech company. They do chat solutions for websites. They're not paying me to promote them, so I won't do that too much, but it's a great company. I had a good time there. It just really wasn't for me, that lifestyle of driving every day, and it was kind of a golden, what do you call it, like a golden cage? I don't know if you can say that in English, but yeah. It's a great environment, good people, just wasn't for me personally. I needed to make art the main thing. Emby, this one is amazing. Marjorie is impressed. Elisa says adorable. People talk about the doggy. Among Roxanne, again, you have a lot of questions, but I'm happy to answer. Is the artistic life lonely? What do you do to counteract it? I can be very introverted naturally, so I don't have a problem working from home alone. But I do try as much as I can to keep in touch with people, and our neighbors, we're really good friends, so we meet quite a lot. And I live in a place that's very central. This was why it was important for me to live in Tel Aviv, because there's a lot of people around generally, and I find that alone is enough for me. I walk outside, I see a lot of people. I walk Ruth, I see a lot of people. It would have been hard for me to live in a more rural area at the moment, for sure. Maybe in the future, I don't know, but for now, that's how I counteract it. You really need to build your life in a way that will benefit you. So what you want to do is, if you're very extroverted, find either a job or an environment that puts you with a lot of people, and it can be creative too. Make art with other people. I think that's a big one, which reminds me, I need to talk to a friend and meet with a few art friends. So I'm going to write it down for myself, or I'll forget it. That's a totally selfish note for myself, because I remember it. Marjorie says, great suggestions. Learn art with me. Says, atmospheric perspective, indeed. What's your favorite artwork? That's a big question. I don't think I have one favorite. The sciences rule. Hi, Liron. Your videos are amazing and informative. Thank you. I just broke out into a huge grin on seeing your doggy. Big hugs to Ruth. Thank you for that. I love the airplane, Dave. Awesome, says Laura Merrifield. People love your works. Thank you so much, Liron. No reference to hand, but these are my very first oil paintings. Wow, amazing, amazing. What has been a seminal experience? Not sure what that means. Let me know among. Hi, Ruth. Good morning, Timothy Knofler. Dave says, that painting took me 2 weeks to do. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I learned so much. Yeah, so here's an important lesson for everyone. You say, Dave, that you didn't know what you were doing, but it took you 2 weeks. Patience, focus, hard work can take you most of the way when it comes to producing a good art piece. The careful focus and attention you put into a painting, the speed. I know watercolor can be kind of elusive because you think you need to work fast, but not necessarily. Work fast during a wash, but work slow in planning. Work slow in planning your scene out. I think that is the main takeaway that I would say. Look at how big of a difference it made. Your work is beautiful, Dave, and even though you weren't experienced with the medium. So, great takeaway. Daiji Shinomura, I sent you one of my paintings. I hope it's in your inbox. We'll check it out. Zaid, are you the kind of person that doesn't like being controlled by authority like a boss or HR? It's tricky. I will say for the most part, to some extent, yes. To me, it was more like, here's this thing I know I have to do, and I'm not doing. I enjoyed a lot of aspects of working for a company, in a way, like the environment, the perks are nice, the people. Some aspects of the work I did enjoy, but there was always this thing I knew that I should be doing that I'm not doing. So the thing that drained me was not doing my art and communication with people in an artistic way. So I hope that answers your question. That was the big thing for me. Yeah, I don't work well as a small part of a big system in a way, I guess. But that wasn't even the main thing. For me, it was just like there's this thing I know I should be doing that I'm not doing. Hanny Shay, Liron, have you heard of MBTI? It's a personality test, really cool psychology related on cognitive functions of people. Interesting. So I don't know if I heard of the MBTI. I know of two tests, like there was this main personality type with the INFJ and this thing that I like, and I know the big five. The extroverted, introverted, openness, all of those stuff. I love these. And I've done a few of them. Oh yeah, okay. So you say example, introverted, extroverted. Yeah, I know the big five model. Maybe it's this one. Introverted, extroverted, openness. Which were the other ones? So that's the creativity. What do you call that? When you work really hard, conscientiousness. Yeah, I love this test. I did a few of it, and I got pretty accurate results, I have to say. Well, I sent it again with another email. Okay, I will check it out soon. So let me go back and see what we have here and do some more critique. So we got this, got that, got Dave. Henny, here's what I'll do. Because I critiqued yours via email, I'll skip yours for now, but I promise to get to it later via email. Okay? Sorry that I'm skipping you for now, just because I want to get to as many people who didn't get it yet. So sorry about that. So we have Vojta here. So I'm going to open everything up. I see a bunch of pictures. Let's see what we got here. And let's see if you sent me something separate to that. Sorry for the dead air, you know. Okay, so this is what we got. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Oh, I see, okay. So let's get to it. So Vojta, I'm going to show some of your works, and hopefully you will benefit from it. So here we go, that's one. Thank you for numbering the files, that's always nice. Ooh, really nice work. Very different style. I love how everyone has a very different style. And again, just to let you know, my apologies if I don't get to yours. There's a lot of things in my inbox right now, and we're already 1 hour in. So I'll definitely not get to everyone. I promise to reply to everyone via email. Okay? Unless I get like 100 emails, I promise to answer everyone. So don't worry if I don't get it done live. So, okay, let's get to it. I see the references too. So let's open up, save. Gonna take a few moments. So this is one, and this is the reference photo. Nice, the picture's already downsized, which is great for me. And the second one, save, is, let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so there is a lot to be said about the choice of style. Because you're obviously going for a style that's a little more urban sketchy, which I love. That's the thing that got me into watercolor initially. Let me just rotate it. And hopefully everyone is enjoying seeing other people's paintings being critiqued, and it's not boring for you to wait your turn or anything like that. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, again, write them in the chat. As you can see, I'm replying to as many as I can. I'm just going to crop this picture so it's easier to zoom in. Oops, my bad. My bad. Crop. Okie doke. Let's get to it. Okay, nice. So I'm going to put myself in the middle. A couple of things. And I hope you'll enjoy seeing your paintings, Vojta. I believe I'm connecting the username, the correct username to the person. Okay. So, first off, let me rotate this. Your drawing is really on point. You're very accurate, which I love. Some things could be, minor fixes, but you're doing a really good job. One thing I would fix maybe is like this line is a little too diagonal. Could be a little straighter. But if anything, it really shows that the street is going up, which is really important. One thing that really stands out to me, in a way, look at the sky and the rooftop. So I'm kind of bouncing off of ideas that I get. Because this is a bit of a different one than my usual style, I'm going to try and give you a few random ideas, throw you a few random ideas out there. Well, let me move this thing if I'm not using it in the meantime. Look at the sky, how blue it is in the reference photo, and the rooftop, how orange it is. I would argue that perhaps a good thing to do would be to choose one of them to show a little stronger. Again, this could be a stylistic choice, but if you go with a darker blue for the sky and keep the rooftop as it is, or you go with a darker orange for the rooftop and keep the sky as it is, it will create an interesting contrast, okay? So don't be scared to choose some parts to go a little stronger on the color. I know for these types of sketches and paintings, a lot of the focus is on the pen lines and ink lines and pencil lines. And if that's your intention, perfect, don't change anything. But if you just want to take it one step further, I would do that, what I just suggested. I love, love, love the dormers and how you approach them with the cast shadows to the left. It's beautiful work. Really accurate on the drawing. One thing I would do that may help make this more dynamic is if you look at the reference photo, let me show you, these lines, the edges of the building are a little like that. Now the reason they're like that is because we're looking up at the building. And what you did is you flattened them. So they're kind of parallel. Instead of being like this, they're like that. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just making sure it's intentional. Okay? If you didn't plan it out, it was a mistake. It's just one more thing to pay attention to for the next time. One more thing that I personally would, and this is very personal, the windows. You see how on the window on the right, which is right here, it's blue. It's reflecting the sky a little. I would choose maybe one or two windows and do that with them. Your windows currently are very gray and dark. Choose one or two windows and make them like blue, kind of like the sky. It will feel really good to have them reflect the sky's color and light. That's another really nice idea. One more thing I would say, I love the orange on the rightmost building, which is really to the right, somewhere here. I love that. I would consider, it's really personal again, but maybe maybe doing the central building this orange. But again, this is very personal. The white kind of light works as well. What else would I say? Compositionally speaking, on a vertical sense, you got a very interesting composition. A lot of interesting gaps between things. So the roof and then the bottom of the roof and then this line and that line, they're all in uneven spaces, which is great. If you look at it horizontally, maybe moving the central building a little to the right or to the left could improve it in terms of not just focusing on this big building in the center, okay? Again, just a suggestion I'm throwing out there. You don't have to do it, but just giving you another idea. Other than that, I love it. It's very different from the style I do, but I think it's great. You didn't overwork anything here, including the asphalt, or not asphalt, it's a bricked street, which is really great. I love your take on it. It can be very tempting to try and put in that light and dark, but you flattened it to this kind of a blue. I love that. One thing to consider, maybe a little more warmth below, because right now it's kind of sending a mixed message. The lower section, it's closest to us, but it's kind of muted and blue. You could balance it out with a little more yellow, which I see you did do here, right around there, this line. But you could do maybe a bit more of it. Other than that, I love it. Great work. Really, really nice. Let's go over another one. And the same advice as I gave about the dog painting. If you want to get it to the more realistic level, or not level, rather dimension, you'll have to darken some areas significantly, follow the values more closely. Just a suggestion, you don't have to. It's great as it is. Again, it's a stylistic choice. By the way, while I'm doing these, I'll have to apologize because I can't see the chat, because I really have to focus on the painting, so you'll forgive me for that. And I'll address it soon, and I'll also, let's see if it's straightened it out. I think it has. Yeah, good. So if anything doesn't work, if you can't hear me, let me know. Trying to divide my attention as best as I can, while keeping it interesting, which is the biggest challenge here. And thank you so much for sticking around. I see quite a lot of people still here. By the way, let me know once you start working. I guess the ideal hours to live stream will change, so let me know. And I'll be happy to change them, see what I can do about it. Let's crop this one as well so we can see it better zoomed in. Okay, let's make it smaller. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, good. So I'm gonna keep this one a little faster. Let me put my face here. So one thing to have in mind here. Your drawing is really on point. Again, I love it. Very accurate. Getting these very vertical lines is not easy, like this kind of a sidewalk thing that on the, it's right here. This curved shape. Where am I? Okay, I can show it. But in any case, this curved shape goes like this, yep, like that. It's very hard to get right, and you have gotten it really nicely, so great work on that. Here's what I would do. So the colors in the reference photo are a little more balanced in terms of some are bright and some are muted. I would try injecting some of that. If you look at, for example, this church here, or whatever that is, look at the roof. It's very muted. Look at the foliage right here above the grass. Not the grass, above it. You see it's a bit more muted. If you do the same for your painting, it will make the grass pop more. It will make the bus that's red pop more. Try and get that balance, okay, in the color saturation. Get something very saturated and balance it with something more muted and more kind of subtle. That's the biggest tip I can give you for this one, and we'll keep it short because I want to get to more people. But thank you so much for sending these, and I hope this was helpful. We will now find out as I look in the chat. Let me burst through the messages real fast, see what we have here. Thanks, hope you received my email. We'll check it out. Barbara, do you recommend drawing every day? Sorry, I didn't hear, but maybe you're answering my question while I was waiting. Okay, so yeah, I do. I recommend painting as much as you can. Not everyone can do it every day, but yeah. Okay, I'm going to skip some messages just to make sure I get to questions. Okay, Well says you send me again. I will check it out. Laura Merrifield, Liron, I'm really glad you are not stuck working in an office hour. We would miss so much. I hopefully will never have to do that. Thank you so much for allowing me to. That's all thanks to you. It really is all thanks to you. Like, I don't know if people understand this, but so I have a few supporters on Patreon. Not many, and it's a really small sum, but that's really actually big because when you look at, I always, it's hard for me to take money for granted. So for me, $5 looks like a lot. $10 looks like a lot. It can buy a lot. Like, it actually pays a big part of like an electricity bill or stuff like that. So I really do appreciate it, and I'm grateful for it, and I cannot say that enough. So if I don't say that enough, here I am saying it again. It's only thanks to you that I can do whatever I do. It's thanks to people who buy the courses, and the paintings, and the books, and the patrons, and people, even if you just bought a course on Udemy, and I made like a $1 commission on it, because Udemy really slaughters in terms of commissions. Like, people pay $40 for a course, and then I get 4. It's insane. But it doesn't matter. Even that is huge. So thank you so much. It's all thanks to you. I really appreciate it. Dave says there's a great forum called Meetup. I joined sketchbook meetups. Oh, cool. I know it's an app. I don't know if there's also a forum. I knew the app. Really enjoying today's live chat. It's great to see other people's work and hear your critique. I'm learning a lot. Perfect. Thank you so much, James. I'm really happy to hear that. Devika says hello. Hey, welcome aboard. Learn art with me. The left side of the photo is closer than the right also. Yeah, that makes sense. Dave, nice loving the urban sketch style. It's what I want to gravitate towards. Cool. So seeing that maybe inspires you. The line gives great character to the scene. Name 3 artists you'd like to be compared to. Honestly, I wouldn't like to be compared to anyone. I think I'll just like to be compared to myself. Maybe there are other people I'd like to be compared to, Rakshan. I'd like to be compared to people who gave a lot for free, I guess. That's the main part. Barbara D, yeah, okay, thanks. Vojta, thanks so much for the critique, Liron. The first one was for my architecture study. Not using 3-point perspective was a choice. Perfect, perfect. That's great. I'm happy to hear. I love the points you made. Wrote it down. Thank you so much. Really happy. And don't forget, this live was going to stay up on my channel, so you can listen to it later on, run it all the way till you see your own paintings and listen to it again. Dave says, this live chat is very nice to see different styles of artwork. Yeah, definitely. Barbara, what is your Paylink tips link? Oh, okay, it's on Patreon. I think you can go to my channel and find it, or you can just search for Liron Jankowski Patreon. Liron Jankowski Patreon on Google. I'm sure you'll find it. I don't even have a link handy, but this is what you could do. Oh, nice. I wrote my name and it tagged me. Okay, that's funny. This next one is for, yeah, beautiful works, beautiful works. Let's get to some more. Okie dokie. Zaid. Let's see here. Okay, Zaid, I'm gonna skip yours for now because we've already looked at one. So my apologies. Daiji, you're up next for your critique. Let's see here. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, I see. So let's open these two images. Okay, so Daiji Shinomori, we're gonna look at some of your works now. Sorry that I have to go fast over some of your works. I want to get to as many as I can while still giving proper feedback and not just, running through it aimlessly. I'd prefer doing a good job in this regard rather than a quick job that's kind of not so good. Okay, that's good. That's good. And we'll probably have to... We'll do a few more, but then I'll have to bail to continue working and doing some other stuff. But for now, let's try getting a few of these in. If you have to go and you think I may show your painting, don't worry. You can watch it later in the live stream. It's going to stay up on the channel. And again, I will reply to everyone who I missed via email. And I don't reply to all critique requests just because I'm short on time. I'm doing the best I can, but for this one I will do my best to answer everyone. And thank you so much for your patience with emails and messages. Like, I know I'm terrible at it recently. Just have a lot of things to do. Okay, so Daiji, great work. I love the reference photo. It's really good. It's a very classic kind of starry night sky, a very classic watercolor subject. A couple of things. And this is really subtle. People are gonna maybe laugh about it, but the grass, I love how you did it. Now let me explain. Like, I could see the grass being overworked in so many different ways here, just drawing every single blade of grass. You actually saw the theme of it, of these horizontal lines, and you did that. So kudos on that, really. Some of the drawing could be a little more accurate, the tree especially, that's the main thing here. I would just be more patient in drawing it first. Maybe you have drawn it, maybe you skipped the drawing, maybe you haven't. I'm just saying, when you draw it, be a little more slow and calculated, okay? It will make a big difference. And maybe the top part, let me show you here, the top part, it has a bit more leaves to it. I would include this kind of fanning pattern, okay? It will improve its look and make it clearer what type of tree it is. You don't have to, again, but just a suggestion. Now, the biggest critique I have for this one is simply the values. You need to push the darks to be a lot darker. Your lights are great. I think they're not too light, they're not too dark, they're on point. This kind of galaxy pattern, I love that. The sun that you can see setting. You just need to push the sky a whole lot darker and then add the highlights, again probably, and the grass a lot darker. That'll be the main critique for you. The sky can be played around with a lot in terms of like moving things around, doing the stars in the different patterns. You don't have to follow what you see. But one thing that you really have to go through to create that impactful sense of light is to darken your darks a lot. Okay. Now, one more suggestion. You can choose to do it or not because it is subjective. Look at the horizon line. It's great. It's flat, which is good. Now look at the kind of pattern of the, I don't know what it is, the Milky Way or the galaxy. It's not like you did it like this, horizontal, but it's actually at an angle. Doing it at an angle will add more variety to the composition, because then you'll have one line like this and another one like that. See? I hope that makes sense. Just add a bit more variety to it. So this is what I would do. Okay? Darker on the sky, but keep the highlights as light as they are. Darken the tree a bit more, darken the grass a bit more. Keep that sun and the stars light. Okay? I hope that makes sense. That's the biggest tip I can give you. It's not an easy reference photo, by the way. So don't feel bad if you didn't get it the way you wanted to. It's not a simple one. So you can go for something with much clearer and sharper shapes, because getting that gradual transition from sky to sun is very hard. It would be difficult for me too. So just saying. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I hope I helped. Good job. Keep it up. Choose something with sharper edges. It will just be easier to start with. To me, again, it would be challenging too, so just letting you know. Professionally, what's your goal? To become one of the best watercolor painters, Rakshan, and to be one of the artists who is remembered for giving the most and asking for as little as possible. 1, 2, 3, rock fan. Ever done any drawings on Reddit Gets Drawn? No. Is this a subreddit? I'm not familiar with it. Daiji, don't be nervous, but I hope you enjoy this. Let me know. You'll probably let me know in a moment. Dave says, going dark in watercolor is my biggest challenge. Yeah, it is. It is a tough challenge. Yeah, I had a period where I really needed to go darker, and it was very hard for me. Let's see here. What's your very best moment for drawing during the day? After lunch, for example, or something else? It will really vary on what you enjoy. Midday will give you sharp shadows with light that comes from the top. Sunset will give you longer stretching shadows, which are beautiful too. So it really will depend on what you enjoy. That's the overall bottom line. Now, Among Rakshan asks, what are your hobbies outside of work? Let me show you. I'm actually collecting Pokemon cards. So I'll take this quick break to show you. For example, I have this album here. This is really off topic, but because you asked, and I wanted to show you something more, so I don't know why the camera is super zoomed in, but no time to fix it. So let me show you some of my favorite cards to collect right now. I'm collecting Pokemon cards. I will do a dedicated live stream, by the way. I think it's super zoomed in for some reason. I know this is off topic, so my apologies if that doesn't interest you as much. Oh, okay, it wasn't zoomed in, my bad. So, did I make the screen bigger? No, it's actually, oh, okay, it's just that the camera is super close. Okay, my apologies. I love vintage old Pokemon cards in Japanese, so this is one that I like to collect. Let me show you a few. This is a page I just put in the binder, which I really enjoy, a bunch of cards. I can talk about each and every one of those, but I don't know if it will interest too many people. Let me know if you want me to do that in a future live stream. But come on, like Salamence I love a lot, Espeon, Lapras, Celebi, of course, Jirachi I like better than Celebi. Alakazam, Pidgeot is one of my OG favorites. I also collect like these are Sealdas, they're called. It's old stickers, which I really love. Really, really interesting stuff for people who collect Pokemon cards. I love these too. Stickers as well, but like series of grass. I can actually read some Japanese, so this is Kusa, which is grass, Denki, electricity, and so on. So you asked about a side hobby. This is one. I actually have a box here to open with a bunch of cards I ordered from Japan. So just kind of a fun thing to intermix into the live stream. Let's see here. Paint story, lots of love from India. Thank you so much. Daiji, I didn't pre-draw the tree. Oh, okay, I did wing it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. If you draw it more carefully. So here's my tip for you. And for anyone who doesn't like drawing carefully as much, what you can do is just choose one thing to draw carefully and wing the rest. It will make a big difference. Especially in this scene where the grass, it's easy to draw, the sky is kind of easy to draw. The tree was pretty much the only thing to draw there, so if you focus just on that, it can really improve the overall impression. Elsa says, I'm painting a small flash tone value study of Liron. Would love to listen to Liron's critique. Yeah, send it over. I'll love to see it. Let's see what else we have here. Interesting about the Milky Way's angle. Thanks so much for your feedback. I'm happy I could help. Uh, Elsa says, are you trying to hire someone or are you practicing your English? Why the random comment? No, no worries, Elsa. I like the random comments. It's fine. I accept any comment. I can decide if I want to answer or not. So it's fine. Angel Lara, hola tengo hambre, which means you're hungry in Spanish, I think. Cubs win. Keeping white staying light in areas is a great challenge for me. Yeah, for me too. Use opaque paint for stuff like galaxies and stars. You just have to put them in opaquely, or with a toothbrush. Some people spray them. It's really impossible to paint around small stars. You can do some dry brush work, but for the most part, you'll have to do them with opaque paint. Now, don't be afraid to. This explains the recent Pokemon piece you made. Yeah, I make a lot of Pokemon stuff, Whitney. Thank you so much for that. By the way, one of my favorite Pokemon trainers, gym leaders, is Whitney from the Gold, I believe. She has Miltank, which is a terrible Pokemon to deal with. Ruven 1961, for anyone who doesn't know, that's my dad. Thank you for watching. Sends hearts and smileys. Thank you so much for being here. Zaithakur, please do more of these kinds of streams. I will. Sure, it's fun. I love doing this. John says, loved your painting of Steelix. Thank you so much. I did a painting of Steelix today and a sketch of Mega Steelix, which is crazy. Lori Huber, guess I should have kept my kids' old Pokemon cards. Yes, some of these are worth a lot. If you can find any card that has the first edition stamp on it, it's worth something. Pence Palacio, was Jirachi the one who grants wishes? Yes, I believe it was. So I bailed on the anime and films at some point. I do hope to watch them at some point, but I stopped. I believe Jirachi is the one that grants wishes. You see it has these three... let me show you again. And here's an easy way to remember. So, a little, again, going back off topic. But this is just a fun stream. We can talk about whatever. Jirachi has these... come on. Move these aside. You see these notes here? 1, 2, 3. So these are actually notes that people write their wishes on. So that's an easy way to remember. Yep. Celebi is the spirit of the forest kind of thing. Jirachi is the wish maker. My biggest nostalgia for Pokemon is actually the video games. I wasn't collecting the cards as much as a kid, just a bit. But yeah. Let's see, 123 Rockfan. I had an original Charizard card, but my mom sold them during a garage sale. Oh, that's too bad. Now, if... Ruth is barking, sorry about that. If the Charizard wasn't first edition, it doesn't worth as much, so don't worry about it. It's not a major loss. And most cards are not in good shape, older cards, so the condition of the card really influences it. If it's a near mint, if it's really clean, doesn't have too much wear, it can be worth a lot, but if it's really worn out, it reduces the price a lot. So yeah. Are you working on something now? Do you mean like a painting now? I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I'll show you maybe later a few anatomy stuff. Let's see here. Well, I hope to get to it. I think you're up next, so yeah. Let's check it out. Let's continue. Hey, Scars1951, I hope you enjoyed the video addressing your question from earlier. Picture on the wall behind you. This is actually a study I did of an artist I really appreciate. I'll share it later on the original painting too. I really love it. He's an oil painter. It does plein air a lot. I did a Painting Masters episode on him too. Let's see here. So, Ruth came to visit. Well, I think I don't see your email again. Oh, that's terrible. Let's see if I can find it for a second. Okay. Let's see here. Well. I don't see it. Darn. Let me try and refresh. Maybe it will work. Let's see. Did you not get an error this time? Because I don't see any email from Alex or Whale. Could you send it over to Could you send it over? I'm gonna write a different email, okay? I'm gonna write a different email. Sorry about that. I really do want to, and I promise if I miss it on the live stream, I will do it later. But I'm writing a different email address, liron@freewatercolor.com. Send it there. Let's try it out there. I don't know why I don't get it. Maybe the image is too heavy. Maybe the attachment is too heavy, so it doesn't send it. But yeah, I promise to go over it. Sorry. I will get to it as soon as I see it. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Thank you. Among Roxanne says you're so cool. Thank you so much. 123 Rockfan, send it over to liron@lironian.com or to liron@freewatercolor. Send it over to liron@lironian.com. Dharma R says, please check out works of Praful Sawant and make a video. He's on my list, so I will definitely review his work. Yeah, I'm on it. Thank you for the recommendation. Please check out what is staccato. I'm not sure. Staccato is something about guitar playing, I think. Pence asks, are you a full-time artist right now? Yes, thanks to all of you, I am. Send Ruth for eating your Pokemon elf. Okay, try sending it to that second email address. I will look for it. Okay, you'll definitely get it reviewed. It's just a question of whether it's going to be now or not. Oh, I found it now. Good. Alessandro? Is it Alessandro? Yes. Okay, I found it. I don't know why I didn't get it to the other email address. For some reason, I found it now. Okay, good. We got it. Okay. We'll do it now. Thank you so much, Will. We're doing it now. Finally got it. So, oh, nice. We also have the reference photo. Perfect. Sorry, it took me ages. Oh, really nice. Really nice work. I like it a lot. So just 1 second of dead air as I bring over the painting. Let's see here. So that's 1. And that's 2. I need to get like a producer to do a lot of the things for me. Definitely not at a point where I can do that. I don't know why it doesn't... Can I open this file? It says JFIF. What's a JFIF file? Let's see if I can play around with it. JPG. Use JPG. Let's see if I can open it. Yep, that works. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why the file was in a different format, but I can just change it. Luckily, I have some technical skills, so I can do stuff on the fly. That's very useful as an artist, because most artists aren't really technically oriented. But yeah, I don't know if most, but some. So here we go. Really nice. Really nice work. Let's bring over the reference photo, and hopefully no one will be against me showing, because these are obviously real people. Okay, I'm gonna have to rotate this one, of course. One of those will need rotation. Pretty much every technical issue that could have happened has happened. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, sorry that it took ages. I'm gonna hide here. No, I'm gonna be here. So really nice work. So I will say a couple of things. First off, very challenging reference photo. Not because of the light and shadow or anything like that, but actually because of the subject matter. So hard painting people that way. And no worries, you're not giving me a problem. I hope you'll enjoy seeing it reviewed now. So let's get to it. I actually really like how you flattened the values at the back. You didn't go as dark, for example, behind them. I would actually consider going dark on that gate thing, just to make the people pop more up front. Okay, make the background darker so they will pop a little if they're lighter, because the blue shirts are fairly light. So just a suggestion. However, overall I do love the fact that you kept the background simplified. Okay, now here's what I would consider doing. Okay, I'm gonna give you a very nuanced advice, because the more experienced the work is, the more I can give, actually, very often. So here's what I would have you consider doing. You have made the background simpler by keeping it lighter, but you did add quite a lot of details. You did add the palm tree leaves, you did add all of these things, here's what I would have you try and do. Look at the value scheme of the background, and instead of simplifying it by making everything light, simplify it by unifying the values. You can keep them light, but unify the values. And here's what I mean by that. So I'm going to bring over a piece of paper, and I'm going to switch for, or I'm going to add. Okay, so I do feel like it's important, so I will do it now. I know it's a little clumsy again, but I do want to show you. So here we go. So here's what I mean by that. What I want you to try and do is look for similar values. For example, there's this shadow under the wavy gate, and I'm going to hold it up close in just a moment, and you'll see it. What I would consider doing is see this wavy shape and the shadow underneath it, and here there's actually a hole, a light hole, and then it's behind the people, okay? Like that. Now hopefully you understand which part of the painting I'm referring to, okay? The gate behind them or whatever that is. Combine, don't paint the rooftop, no need to. See how light it is? It's almost as light as the sky. Combine these to just one shape. Combine all of the shadows into one shape. So kind of like this. Yeah. What did I do wrong? Just a second. I lost my... Oh, yeah, okay. This line is unnecessary. Yeah, okay. So kind of like this. Keep it light if you want to, but combine it all into one shape, okay? If the palm tree is of similar value, simply connect it to that one shape and have it all flow together, okay? Have all of these shapes flow together as one big shape. So instead of painting every single detail lighter, combine them. For example, this rooftop is very light. I would actually combine it with the sky, so I'll have a blue and maybe a bit of an orange, but same value, and keeping it light, okay? That's what I would do. And then, for example, to the left of the person, we have all of these flowers. Just do one shape for the lighter flowers, contrasting with the shadow behind, and then one shape for the darker flowers. Look at how simplified that is, okay? What you did is actually, and let me get rid of this one, you don't need the art camera for that. What you did is you actually painted all of the details, which is great. I have nothing against it in particular, but merge the values into one big shape. You can even alternate the colors within it, but keep them the same value and flowing together. You will get a much better contrast between foreground and background. Now, the reason I'm talking about the background is the foreground is great. I love it. You got the likeness of the people really well, which isn't easy to do for such a zoomed out portrait photo. So if you have just the face of the person with the sharp contrasts of light and dark, it's easier. You actually have two people, full figures, and the background. You did a really good job on this one. Really, really proud of this. I mean, if I can be proud of it. You painted it. It's great. Great work. I really, really like it. This is what I have to say, and it's kind of feedback in the context of the full scene. It's not just in the context of an element in the scene, because you got the element so well. Okay, so I really, that's the thing I would pay attention to. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope that's helpful. Let me know. I'm happy to have finally gotten to your painting. Sorry that it took me ages to find it. So let's see here. Is any medium okay? Asks 123 Rockfan. Yeah, sure. Sure thing. Hila Yankonski, which is my sister. Thank you so much for being here. Sends a hey and a heart. It's written in Hebrew, so you can't read it probably, but welcome aboard. Dave says, did you say your dad is on? Hi, Liron's dead. That's really funny. Elsa Gray says to Among Rakshan, you're very curious. We get to know Liron better from your questions. Exactly, yeah. I can just ignore messages if it's too much or if I don't have time, it's cool. So my sister says, hey, sends a peace smiley. I was sending to you again, glad you received it. Scars 1951, will you look at one of my paintings? Yes, send it over, and if you have, I hope I will see it now. Hey, it's my uncle and dad. Oh, okay. So the picture, the picture is your uncle and dad. Really good. Really, really good. BUF says beautiful. Cubswin says possible tangent with tallest man, head and tree. Yeah, definitely that could be it. I wouldn't be too worried about that. You know, you can go ahead and optimize every single compositional element. or if something bugs you personally. To me, it didn't really jump as much because I already envisioned it the way I described it, with the entire background lighter and unified. So I didn't really care about that tangent, but it's a good catch. So something to pay attention to. Jessel's Yellow Estelides. Hey, I'm from the Philippines. Can I send you some of my art? Yes, definitely. Send it over to Liron at lironian.com and I'll look into it. Good job, great feedback. Okay, thank you so much. Let's move on to another one. Let's get through these. The more I get through now, I don't have to do it via email later. We're doing well. Okay. We're making nice progress. So, let me filter it again. Okay. So we have Mitzi Harp. Messed up the email and it bounced. Okay, let's see what you have here. Very nice. And a reference too, which is always great for me. Okay, we're going to get one more. Now let me know who you are on YouTube, Mitzi. Ooh, really nice. I like that a lot. Okay. Man, I feel my voice starting to get weak, so obviously, well, I'll try extending it as much as I can, but I'll have to take a break at some point. Let's see here. And May is also not feeling so well, so I'll have to check in on her, make sure she's good. Okie doke. Okay. Maybe I should do like a 7-hour crazy live stream at some point. That could be really interesting and detrimental to my voice's health, but fun. Let's see the reference photo. Okay, good. So this is by Mitzi, and let us know here on YouTube who you are. Really, really nice work. So let's get to it. Let me just see that I didn't miss anything too important in the chat. Okay, Mimi Harp says I'm Mitzi. So thank you so much for sending it, Mimi, and let's get to it. So I'm going to put myself in the middle here. First off, really nice work. I love a lot of the interpretations you did here. For example, I love the shadows on the white walls. I can see you took a lot of liberties, which is great. What I want to do with this critique in particular is, because I love taking liberties, I want my advice to help you put them in a better overall context, okay? So first off, I love how you approach the shadows on the white. Again, you didn't do them gray, you did them purple, which is great. It's interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff to it. And by the way, I know that some of my critique may be irrelevant because maybe the picture skews the colors a bit, so my apologies about that. Maybe you've used a different hue and it looks purple to me, you know. Just saying. Now, so I love what you did there. Really, really good. The building, I love the way it looks. One thing I love in particular is the palm trees. Adding that bit of orange to them is genius. That's exactly what I like. I don't like when it's just one green. I love that variety. I love putting a bit of red in the green, a bit of yellow in the green. That always works well for me. So let's address some of the things I think could be improved. One, drawing. Obviously, you changed some things. You moved the figure. I think the figure is way too small compared to what it should be in the reference photo. If you'll notice, you know what? I stick to my guns here. So here's the thing. The woman in the photo is almost the height of the entire staircase, okay? So now, if this woman moves closer to us, she will look larger. And your figure is smaller, but it's closer to us. You see what I mean? So to balance it out, you have to make it bigger, okay? So that's the main thing I see here in terms of... basically what you did is made the stairs in the building look larger, which is fine. If that's the intention, that's great, but you made them look larger, okay? So that's one thing to pay attention to. Another thing, a very common mistake people make, so don't sweat it. I'll show you exactly what you could improve here. What you did is, you see the lines up top on the building, just the top line of the building here. There's this diagonal line and then another one. We have a tendency for some strange reason to flatten these to the horizon. So what you did is kind of like this angle, like I did here. But what you'll notice is that the building is actually much more like that, okay? if you really look at it, and look at how much more sense it makes because it's so high there, up there. So this is one, and then the other one is kind of at a different angle altogether, so it's kind of like that. And that makes a lot more sense, okay? So I hope that works for you. Now, another note. Look at the arch. Arches are really hard to draw in perspective. So what you want to do is constrain it within a square. So if we have that, that same perspective like that, then we have the arch trapped within this kind of a square, okay? This, and let me go over the lines. I know you can hardly see them. First, create a square describing where it is and where it follows on the perspective. Now, the peak is in the middle of this square. Now, I taught you this before. How do we find the center? We connect the two corners, and this is the center. So if we drop a line here, we find the center points on the top and the bottom. Okay, connect the corners, find the middle, go like this, and you also found the middle here. Now notice this is longer. This part is longer than this part. Why? Because we're looking up at it, so this looks smaller. This is in fact the middle, but visually it looks shorter and more squeezed because it's farther away from us, okay? Now, that you know the center, this is the peak, the apex of the curve, and you can kind of fill in the blanks and go like this and like that. Nothing perfect here, but I think my arch is a little more accurate. What you did with your arch is something like this. And it shouldn't be this way. Okay, let me hold it up close. You should account for the perspective. Okay, so that's the main thing. One thing you did great is handling this left side of the stairs. This falls perfectly within the perspective. So that's a really good job, and it's a more round shape and organic. So good job on that. So that's it in terms of drawing. Now let me talk a bit about colors, okay? And then I'm gonna take a quick 10-second break. I wanna check in on me. So, not colors, but rather values. If you look at the mountain ridge at the back, it's much, much, much lighter and bluer than you think. If you look at what you did here, the palm trees and the mountains in the background are kind of similar. They're both brown. But take a look at the reference photo here, and we'll zoom in a bit. Compare the tree here with the mountain at the back. The mountain right here, mountain and trees, the mountain is blue because of aerial perspective. Farther things, we see less of the yellow and red, it's filtered out, and we see more of the blue. So that's the thing you want to put more emphasis on. If you just take the blue that you used on the stairs and use that on the mountain range, it will immediately send it to the back. Okay? Now, I do believe the value is way too dark as well, so that's another thing to pay attention to. And I can actually turn both of these black and white, and you'll see it. Just color, let's see here. Saturation, lower the saturation. Maybe I'm a little off on the value, let's see here. Tools, adjust color, saturation. Let's see. Okay, so your mountain range is just a little too dark. You see? Now you see the difference, hopefully. Let me not move myself, but move the photo rather. And make it smaller, put things in the right context, you see? So some of the values are off. I'm actually pretty happy with most of your values. The stairs, the walls, the floor. The one thing I would change is sending that mountain ridge to the back. I would also darken the wall behind the trees, like right above my finger, right at the edge here, the wall. It stands out too much. And if you compare it to what it looks like here compared to this staircase wall, it's much darker. So compositionally, it would put things in the right context. I hope that helps. Actually, really good work for me to comment on. A lot of, I think, good insights. Let me know your thoughts and let me know if this is clear. And let's go over the chat, see what you're saying. Philippines, major challenge. People are really nice, good job. Indeed, they're really good, Alex. Well, Thank you so much. You say it right. My problem was exactly connecting everything behind. I also tried to simplify, but wasn't able to see it. Thank you again. I'm buying your course. Thank you so much, Well. And one more note, Well, I will add. You can also flatten the background and just put like a flat color on it for everything. You know, feel free to change it up. Just to really bring out that contrast with the front. You don't have to. You can go realistic. You can follow what you see to the T, whatever you prefer. Just giving you my advice on kind of that balance. Pence Palacio, how well do you earn as a full-time artist in 2021? Actually, I'm very proud of what I earn. I won't share numbers, but I'm doing well, I think. I appreciate every dollar, so that may give you an idea. Like, I don't make tons of money, but definitely enough to live off of, and to support little Ruth. your payment for the course goes straight to her dog food. So just so you know, she's very grateful. Not treats, because she's so gluttonous that she just needs her food to get compliance. She doesn't need a treat. But yeah, I think I make a nice income. I wouldn't say like I'm at the top bracket. I don't know. Compared to the US, it's not much, I think, but compared to here, it's really nice. So Mimi, I hope that was helpful. We'll go over some messages. I sent over a painting as well. Hope you can get to it. Says Unraveling Anna. And by the way, thank you so much to anyone who's here. I see 67 concurrent viewers and 75 likes. Thank you so much. If you haven't liked this one, please like the live stream. It helps more people find it. I'm gonna be back in like 5 to 10 seconds or 20 seconds. Just 1 second. Okay, we're good. Sorry for the dead air. As I mentioned, May's a little under the weather. Wanted to make sure that she's okay. Let's see here. Among Rakshan, send it over to Liron at lironian.com. I'm going to write it in the chat again. Liron.com, and I'll be happy to take a look. It's purple, okay, good. I'm happy that I see the colors clearly. Well says, I love the colors in the shadow of the building. It's really, really nice, Mimi. I know he seemed too small. I should have given better thought to horizon lines. Using a box to get the arch is so helpful. Yeah, just do that. A little slower, a little more calculated on these details that are a little more complex. A lot of my growth as an artist actually came from learning to be more patient and not assume that I know what I'm doing, basically. So to take things a little slower. That was big. Best wishes to May. Hope she feels better soon. Thank you so much, John. I really do appreciate it. Unraveling Anna, I had technical difficulties sending my email. Sorry for how many times I emailed you. No worries. Mimi Harp, thank you. That helps a lot. I'm happy to hear. Scars 1951. Did you get mine, Liron? I really would appreciate you looking. Let me know your name that I would see in the email just to make sure that I get it right. I don't see Scars. But that's to be expected, so let me know your name. I do see Jeff Francisco, and you're up next. So Jeff, let me know who you are in the chat. Oh, really nice. Okay, that's really nice. Jeff, good work. No need to be worried of my critique. I think the photos are very small though, so we'll do our best with it. They're tiny. For some reason, the email compressed them. Let me make sure that it's not something that you've resent in a higher resolution. No. Okay. So let's do this. Save image. That's one. That's two. Hopefully you're learning from seeing other people's works, as some people mentioned. And this is interesting. This is really fun. It's a very tiring type of live stream to do, but I really enjoy it, I must say. Maybe asking for these in advance could be good. Just to make sure that I have everything ready. Don't need so much preparation time, but we'll improve. So this is the reference photo. It's very tiny, but we'll get it to work. It's not like my live stream quality is that high that it will be too noticeable. And thank you so much once again to everyone who's here. I really appreciate it. I cannot say that enough, so I will say it again and again and again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me in this channel grow. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so it's a really small reference photo, but we'll try addressing it. And again, this one's from Jeff Francisco. So let's see here. Jeff, let me know who you are. Uh, let's see here. Yeah, Giselle Cielo, I saw your email too. I got it. Oh, let's see. Oh, here is Jeff Francisco. Hey, how are you? Okay. Let's get to it. So, first off, I love it. I love a lot of things about it. One thing I have to praise you for is making the background darker. I don't know if how deliberate that was, but it seems to me, if I would paint this, you recognize that the sunflowers are light, and the background needs to complement that. So you went for maybe a slightly darker background. I really appreciate that. One more thing I want to compliment you on is the flow. A lot of the shapes feel connected. All the yellow petals of the sunflowers feel connected. The leaves feel connected. The vase and the smooth transitions on it, the background too, really good job. Here's what I would fix. To me, it just seems like this is unfinished. Maybe it was work in progress and I missed it. Let me go ahead and check if you wrote that down in the email. No, okay. So all I see that you really need to do is just add a couple of more shadows on the sunflowers. So what I would do is, I'll just point it. I will add some shadows on that lip of the vase, make it a little darker and clearer. I would add more shadows on the leaves. And don't be afraid to use a different green for those shadows. Use something like that has more yellow in it or something like that. Your green is fairly cool to me, it seems. It has a bit of blue in it. Don't be afraid to add even red to the shadows. It will look great. Same goes for the middle there of the, I don't know what you'd call this middle part, where the bees eat, where the bees feast on. That definitely can be darker. That's all you really need. Just darken it. The background is good. I wouldn't even darken it at all. Darken the middle of the flowers. That's it. It's just, you have more steps to go through. I love it. I really love it. I love that you keep things together and flowy. It looks like a small piece, but maybe I'm mistaken by the image's size. And I actually like that. Small piece of paper, big brush, makes it for an easier process. So way to go. Really good job. Jeff, good job. Let's move on to the next one. This was simple. This was a simple one to critique for some reason. You did a good job. I wouldn't change much. We'll just continue. Let's see who's up next. We have Tazeen Halim. In Pence, you're actually coming up soon. Ooh, nice. Very nice. So I don't have a reference photo, but this one is cool. This one's really cool. Let's see if I have a reference photo in a separate one. If not, no big deal. Okay, we don't. So let's save the photo. Wow, this is impressive. And the paper is really textured. It looks almost like a canvas. Maybe it is a canvas. Okay, so I'm going to bring it over. I don't have a reference photo, and it's a very creative piece that I think a lot of you will love, so probably not much critique for me, but I'll just, I don't know, it will be fun to share. So sorry, Tazeen, in advance. 1 second. I'm not sure if your first name is Tazeen or Halim, so my apologies. So Tazeen Halim, great work. I'm going to move aside and make room for this. Like that. Very creative piece. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't have any critique, really. I love it. I would encourage you to continue pursuing this style, this medium, this type of canvas. I love it. I love it. I don't know what you do. Like, my question would be, what do you want to improve in your work? Because then I know two things. I know what you, well, one main thing actually. If I ask you what you want to improve your work in, I wouldn't take your answer at face value. I'll be like, oh, so you think your XYZ is lacking. You think your whatever is lacking. And then I can play off of that. But I will say it's beautiful. The composition of the two birds is really nice. Like one is facing towards us, like this, and another one is like to the side. That works really, really well. I love that. I love it. Very creative too. I wouldn't change a thing, really. I don't think. Let me think if I would. You could like make some of the, like where you have the tail here, you see each and every feather detail, which is great. Maybe you can balance it out with some feathers that are less felt, but you actually have that on the second bird, so second parrot. Wow, I wouldn't change a thing. This is really nice. This is really, really nice. I love it. So yeah, sorry I can't give you much feedback in terms of that, but I really, really like it. Let's see what you're saying in the chat. Hope you're happy about that. Did you get mine? I got yours. Jeff talked about that. I'm not patient, need to work on that. Yeah, that's a common issue for me too. Pence Palacio, what do you mean since you have no favorite? Are you talking about me? Since you have no favorites in your paintings, do you have a least favorite one? Like a least favorite artist? That'll be hard to tell too. Because me, I have a ton. It's funny. Or do you mean my own works? I'm not sure. Well, can I send you another paint and have another critique by you? This time I'll make it easier for you. Send it over. I won't do it live because I want to get to people who haven't had their paintings critiqued, but I will do it later. I don't have a reference photo. Name is Chuck McKinney. Let's see if we'll get to it. I think you must be tired, but I've emailed one of my works. Tarun, I got your email too. I'll look at it in a second. Mimi Harp, my calligraphy teacher, says the same. No coffee until after practice is over. Funny. Jeff Francisco, thanks, Liron. I'll go to it again and put the things you said. Sure, that's. I'm happy that helped. You're really on your path. That's really good. Tazin Halim, I'm sorry, there's no reference photo. No worries, it's really good. Okay, your first name is Tazin. I had a feeling. Yes, Parrot in color is awesome. Mimi Harper, beautiful, beautiful, awesome work, Tazin. People love your work. So yeah, I like it too. Marjorie Johnson is mostly a botanical painter, I agree, especially leaves. Just need glazing for shadows and to move color away from the viridian, introduce muted yellow. Yeah, Marjorie, we were on the same page. Exactly right. For Jeff, I believe that was the critique. Tazin says, thank you so much, Liron. Yeah, I'm happy I could help. Marina, I got your email too. I will look at it in just a second. Okay, let's move on to another one. I'm going to try and really go through a lot of critiques if we can. Next up is Pence Palacio. So let's see. You sent me a bunch of stuff. I may have to kind of focus on a few. Hi, Liron. These are some of my paintings. The lady with the branches on top are inspired from different pics that I skimmed. That's really cool. Let me do the production work of choosing one, or maybe something like this. Oh yeah, the stone. That's nice. The Stonehenge I'll skip because it's based on my work and I can always critique it later. Okay, let's see here. Sending this again. I have no reference for this one, just enable everything. Okay, yeah, okay. So let's open this one up. I love it. It's very creative. Very creepy too, but in a good way. Pence Palacio. So, let's find the first one. Let's see here. Ooh, this is really nice. This is a very nice touch. The eyes, I like the eyes. Now let's see if I missed something. 1 second as I open this up. Let's open up the Stonehenge too. I like it. It's a good example of good work. So I'll open it up. So Pence, I just chose a mix of what you sent me. Hopefully I covered most of the things you wanted me to cover. Sorry, just confused by multiple emails. It's not your fault. So here we go. That's one. That's two. That's really nice. The eyes are really nice. I love your signature too. You sign your paintings in a really nice way. Okie doke. Okay. So let me rotate this one. Save it. Close this one. Okay, here we go. So we're going to bring over another painting. We'll start with this one that is highly, highly creative. So a woman with branches. So definitely a style that's different from my own. So I'm not going to, of course, say, oh, it's some stuff could be improved in terms of realism. I don't care about any of that. Very creative. I would encourage you to keep doing a lot of these. Some people have that rich visual internal world. I have a friend who has a similar thing with sketching, and he brings out crazy things like from multiple reference photos or from imagination, and it's something that I could do, but I just don't do. So if I don't do it, can I do it? I don't know. You can do it. You did it. So that's really, really neat. If I have to critique on the fundamentals, I have a lot of positive things to say. First off, I love the simplicity in colors. Blue, yellow, and I love how they're both mixed. So you have the right side that is blue, the left side is yellow, but you also have some blue on the left side of the shadows, some yellow on the right side, so they mix. The branches. Branches that are closest to us are slightly darker. The ones that are further are lighter. Great way of portraying it. It feels like there's depth. I love those brush marks of the, whatever it is, if it's a dress or if it's just something abstract. I love that it has both yellow and blue. Really, really good. I won't give any like feedback other than that, because I want you to continue doing these. This is really, really nice. Let me bring over another one. This is really, really cool. I love how you sign in the middle too. Very nice. Let's look at another one. Now let's look at the Stonehenge one, the Callanish stones, because that's based off of my work, so we'll do that like the middle thing. Here we go. Honestly, I think you did a better job than me balancing the values. I actually like that you didn't go as dark as I have with the grass. No, really good. The shadow, I love how you didn't go too dark on the shadows. Like even the stone that's largest, it's not too dark. You can see through the shadows. They have a lot of richness and depth to them, which is really nice. Sorry, I'm just making sure I don't miss anything important on my phone. Really good work. One thing I'll commend you on is you actually played around with the shape of the stones. I don't know if it's on purpose. I like the more organic feel they have in your version. I actually really like how they're a little more kind of wobbly, so they're a little less straight. That's really neat. I like that aspect of yours better than my own, to be honest with you. Really, really good. I really like that. Another one. Let's see what we have here. That's the last one of yours. Here we go. This one. I really like this one. So, it's I like how you showed the paints you use on the top corner. Again, I love that simplicity of colors. I love how it's just that you put the color you want where you want. The one thing I'll commend you on, especially in this one, is that even though it's a partial sketch in a way, like it's not a full face, it's the eyes, it has this finished feel to it. It has a really nice finished feel to it. So it feels like a finished painting, basically what I'm saying. You got the highlights in, you got the details in, you got the big shapes, the small shapes. I really, really like that. What would be interesting for me to see you do, and that's an overall general critique, if I have to say something, is, and you've done it with the painting you did based on my own, is I would be curious to see how you do with choosing a realistic subject and trying to recreate it as best as you can. Maybe like a statue, a Greek statue or something like that. Because you have that uniqueness to your work, I'd actually be curious to see what happens when you try and recreate what you see kind of accurately. I wouldn't say be obsessed over the details, don't go hyper-realistic, kind of in the style that I do. Impressionistic with a hint of reality to it. I would be curious to see you do that. Not because I think that's what you should do. I think you should do exactly what you're doing. I love that. But because I think it will help you improve these works. Trying to do some studies maybe of other artists even, or just, simple subjects that have a fairly realistic air to them in your work. Try and go for that. I think it will add another layer to your already interesting and unique style. So that's what I have for you. Really good work. It's fun to become more familiar with everyone's works in general. Like, it's really nice. I can learn a lot about your style, and I don't promise I'll remember it for the future, but it's really nice. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll have to be selfish here. My voice is getting a little tired. I'm going to do one more, but again, I promise to go back to everyone who sent me, and I will give you critique via email. Okay? So I'm just gonna go over the next person in line. So let's see here, parts and colors, awesome. I know a lot of people won't get it reviewed in the live stream. Sorry about that. We've been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes, so I'll have to stop. So now, next up, we have, let's see here. Okay, we'll do one quick and then another one. We have Roman Panasco. Hi Liron, some time ago I watched your demonstration of Edward Signo painting and decided to do my own. Could you please give comments on it? Thanks. Because it's a study on painting I'm familiar with, I can actually do that fast. So we'll do that and then we'll do another one. Because I don't want to get to a point where I'm too tired to give proper feedback. So trust me, it's better if I take a break and give you proper feedback via email in the next following days probably. So yeah, just letting you know. And maybe it'll take some time because I do plan on taking a quick vacay next week. So just warning you in advance. I will make it happen. It may just take some time. So this is the study based on Edward Signo's painting. So if I judge it as its own piece, I love it. I love it. You use different colors, but you kept a minimal palette. Yellow, purple, blue is what I see, and a bit of green as a mix of both. Beautiful work. I love that negative tree on the left. What I would encourage you to do is maybe, because it does seem like a decent sized painting, try getting more of the nuances of the drawing in. You actually did a good job with the drawing. But for the tower itself, I do remember there's a little more detail up top with the rocky structure. So I would slow down and get those smaller details in a little more accurately. But in terms of values and the depth and the reflections and all of that, great work, great technique. Really love this one. You see there's this white reflection on the water here that goes like that. You need something to justify it. You don't have to, but I mean, if there was a tree there or something light to justify it, that will be better, obviously. But really good job. You have good wet and wet technique. Way to go. That's really, really nice. So yeah, that's a quick one for me to review because I'm very familiar with the original one. So thank you so much for sending me this one, Roman. You did a really, really good job. Keep it up. Keep doing these studies, very helpful. Just a little, maybe more patience and slow, kind of careful analyzing of the subject matter. You can actually focus. You can spend more time looking at the reference photo than painting it. I know it's kind of mind-boggling, but it's actually a fun thing to do. So let's see here. So next up, and this is going to be the last one. Sorry, Unraveling Anne. Thank you so much for sending me this. I do see everything. I see Mark, I see your painting. Giselle, I see your painting. Mitzi, I see another one. Tarun, I see your work. I see everything. Marina, of course, I see your work as well. I will get to all of you, okay? My apologies. I will get to all of you. It's just that my voice is a little tired, so it's either getting a really crappy review or getting it later on properly. So you'll have to forgive me. Let's see here. Okay, so this is again Unraveling Anne. Really nice work, I can say right out the gate. This is a portrait. Portraits are not easy at all. Okay, so here is the painting. Let me make it a little smaller. I already can tell I love the artistic freedom you took with it. It's not identical at all to the reference, and in a good way. In a good way. There's a lot of kind of happiness to the colors you use. You added some details. That's really nice. And here is our reference photo. 1 second. Let's see here. Okay, a little smaller. So again, I'll assume that the point wasn't to follow it super duper closely. And that's fine, that's great. So first off, love the colorful interpretation. That's something I'm always a big fan of. All the changes you made. I love how you added these light yellow touches to the hair that give off this feeling of a highlight that's not there in the original. Very good interpretation of it. Obviously, the likeness isn't there, to be honest with you. I don't think you were aiming for the likeness. This is perfectly fine. And by the way, I saw you sent another email, so just... oh no, we're good. Okay, it's just this. So yeah, the likeness isn't really there, and it doesn't have to. You changed so many things. If you want to get the likeness down, you have to really practice portraits and learn a bit about the facial features. For example, the structure of the eyes and the nose and the mouth. It's really important. But for what it's worth, like the changes you made, I think are really creative and really, really nice. One thing I would watch out for, I don't say it's wrong that you did it like this here, but the highlights, a very common mistake is the tendency to blow them up really light. And regardless of skin tone, the highlights usually aren't that starking. So what I would do is just tone them down a bit. You see, especially here, there's this highlight, and on the cheek, and on the nose, and the chin, and even here on the neck, they shouldn't be as light. And I think going a bit darker there will help to really make the shapes look more solid. Now, if you made that decision in a self-aware, like deliberately, perfectly fine. Again, I won't argue with anyone's interpretation and creativity. But if you did that by mistake, just something to watch out for. Okay, try and don't worry, it won't lose its sense of three-dimensionality and shininess. It will still look good. Just try and tone it down a bit. What you can do is maybe leave the strong highlight on the nose. Tone down a bit here and the cheek. Definitely the neck. The neck usually will be darker, so I wouldn't go as light there. It's kind of throwing off the value scheme. So these are my 2 cents. With the shirt, I like how you darkened it because you used stronger, more saturated colors. So really good job getting extra points for the creativity and changing things from the reference photo. Yeah, way to go. Really, really good job. So let me go over some of your comments and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, and sorry again for anyone I didn't get to your paintings. I'll send you an email. We'll get to it. Thank you so much. I won't tell you who is next after unraveling Anne, so you won't be disappointed that it wasn't you, because it really could be anyone. So, Zaid Thakur says, what master style would you personally recommend to learn as a beginner? That's a great question. I would actually practice the fundamentals before that, just to make sure you're not bound to one style or feel like you have to paint one certain way. However, generally speaking, let's say you're on your journey and you're wondering what artist to learn from, one that really inspires you to paint. That's the bottom line. If any type of painting that inspires you is a good one to learn from, that you like, that you enjoy, that you aspire to paint like that person. Just make sure you're going back to the fundamentals in your lane, so that you're not too bound by what you learn, because sometimes learning someone else's style can narrow your field of view and make you think, okay, that's the right way to do it, and just forget about the other ways. It's kind of like as a baby, if you don't learn certain sounds, they don't exist to you, and you can't pronounce them. I want you to have that full range of pronunciation, from the Chinese pronunciation to Japanese to English to German to whatever, all languages, okay? That's a good analogy, actually. I should write that down for future reference. Language, sounds, analogy. Sorry for my table shaking. Analogy. That's great timing. I feel my voice slowly dripping down the drain for anyone who watched Hamilton. Just play the medium on PC. That reminds me of that. Oh, is it like a kind of psychedelic or horror kind of thing? If it's connected to the previous one we saw by Pence Palacio, really good. Mark Ohio just emailed a couple of my... Wait, the chat jumped on me. Sorry about that. Just emailed a couple of my own paintings. I saw it. Mimi Harp. I did one called Tree of Life. Same idea. Naked woman who was depicted as a tree. Yours is beautiful. Looks like tapestry. People like your work. It seems Vita paintings are awesome and the signature is on point. Yeah, you can see the creative soul in the paper. Yeah, definitely. Really good job. Roman Padasco, thank you so much. And sorry I couldn't give you like a longer review, but feel free to send me another painting, like an original or a different study. I'll be happy to give you a longer review. Marjorie, thanks for a great critique vlog. New perspective are always a positive. Thank you all who are brave and shared your work, for sure. Thank you so much, and thanks for all the birthday wishes. Still in quarantine, boo. Oh yeah, that sucks. I hope things get opened up soon. Here they really started to open up. Johnny GM70, hi Liron, I came here too late. Do you plan to do a live stream like this one soon? I will definitely do another one. Yes, it's fun. It's simple for me because I don't need to invent any content. I'll just go off on what you send me. John, thank you so much, Liron, for another awesome live session. Thank you so much for tuning in, John. Elsa Grace, the vertebrae line needs to curve to the right at the top and fade out lighter. Anatomy tips are always welcome. There's always a lot to improve. Yeah, the eyes are definitely too close together. Usually you'll have at least an eye distance between them. I didn't comment on it because, I don't know, I just liked it the way it was, but definitely something to improve. Vojta, thank you for the live stream. I had a great time. Thank you so much for being here. Unraveling Anne, thanks, Liron. I appreciate the review. Daichi Shinori, love the feedback on everybody's work. Really beneficial to everyone. I love the Hamilton reference. Katie Meekins, yo, Kenneth, the famous Kentucky fan. Hello, brother. Katie says, love you. Thank you so much. I'm new to your channel. Thank you so much, Kenneth. You arrived a little late, but the live stream is going to stay up so you can watch it. Thank you for giving me a banana, I guess. Jeff Francisco, I do really appreciate these reviews. I learned a lot from it. Thank you so much to Liron and everyone. So thank you so much for anyone who was here. Don't worry, I will not miss your emails this time. I see all of the emails that I have yet to reply, and you will get my review. Okay, I see at least like 5 or 6 people who send them. I will get to them, I promise. It's just that I need to take a break from my voice and continue finishing some work and stuff around the house. But I really do appreciate it. I cannot thank you enough. And I will continue always, hopefully, saying that. Well says, thank you again, Liron. Just bought your course. Hope it will give me the right boost on my paintings. P.S. Yes, the medium is like a thriller horror adventure, but I love the story behind it. Cool. I am playing The Witcher 3 at the moment. Love it a lot. I hope to play the new Pokemon game. For anyone following, there's this, what is it called? Pokemon Legends Arceus. Looks good. Or Arceus, depending on how you pronounce it. But yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the courage of sending me your paintings. I hope to see you again in a future live stream. Let me check the calendar real quick. Yeah, next week we're on. There should be another live stream, same hour. If the hours don't match, like if you're now starting to go back to work and stuff like that, let me know. I really appreciate that kind of feedback because I can play around with the hours and make it maybe a little later, a little earlier. We'll see. We'll figure it out. So thank you so much. I will see you again in the next live stream. Take care.